What is going on out there, Culture Junkie Nation? It's your boy Ken Sure. We're back with another great episode of Culture Junkies Live, episode 219 on the dial. Today we're going to be talking about great collections and the kind of the fine line that happens between collecting and hoarding. But also we're going to celebrate Dan Akroyd's birthday. We're going to talk about a bunch of really other fun stuff. But we got a very special guest in the building, Mr. Maine. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Besides this arthritis, but you know.
Now, Mr. Maine, we know him for a few years, and my man is an avid collector of toys.
I say he's a toy slanger.
Yeah, he's a toy slanger. Well, how'd you put it?
Slinging plastic.
He's slinging plastic. he out there slinging plastic. So, but yeah, Mr. Maine has joined us. We thank him for coming in and joining us with us today, kind of chop it up about collecting and toys and other good stuff. Obviously, you started right at me as the great Dr. In front of me is Mr. GQ, and in remote is the Mr. Fallen Marvel. How's it going, fellas?
Hello and good evening, everyone. Hope everybody is having a pretty good week. It is the first day of July, ladies.
Indeed, it is.
Whoop, whoop. For a better month.
I mean, like, do we really notice the passage of time now that we've been all been in quarantine for like the past
3 months?
Have
gone by fast. And
yeah, dude.
I haven't been in quarantine. I had to go to work every goddamn day.
Right.
And it still feel like,
I'm
it's
stuck in the house with the kids.
I feel like half of the year is over. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, how'd that happen?
Yeah. Quite interesting.
It is quite interesting. If you're watching us on Onlit, if you're watching us on Twitch, if you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're watching us on Facebook and EJLBN or whatever watch parties out there, we want to thank you for joining us. Let's run the gamut.
Run the gamut.
What is that private pile? Sir, jelly donuts, sir!
Run the gamut.
Fallen, let's start with you, man. What do you got?
So, actor Ray Fisher, for those that don't know, he played was it Victor Stone, aka Cyborg, in the Justice League film. He has gone on the record to retract every good thing he's ever said about Joss Whedon. He basically tweeted that but the thing is, he went on ahead and posted the clip that he mentioned at Comic-Con, what he said or whatever, and it kind of looks a little awkward with him saying it after the fact. So, but he has also tweeted the same thing, and I quote, Joss Whedon's on-set treatment of the cast and crew of Justice League was gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable. He was enabled in many ways by Jeff Johns and John Berg. Accountability over entertainment.
Wow.
So, right from the horse's mouth.
Yo.
So kind of take that at face and kind of take that with a grain of salt.
Yo, man, ain't that some shit that you could have said like right after this shit happened? Like, why are you waiting until now? Like, why are you waiting until now to say that shit, man?
I think you're running into John Boyega opened the floodgates for a lot.
Okay.
Of that. I think John Boyega being straight up raw about his feeling about the racism and everything. All of a sudden, but it's like, okay, hold on now, Ray Fisher. You ain't John Boyega. But John Boyega has got more clout in Hollywood than you do right about now.
That's true.
So there's certain things that, I don't know, should have said it when he had the time, during the film. But I mean, I don't know, who knows.
What you got?
It's weird. Well, but first I want to acknowledge some folks in the YouTube chat. Some person tries to play a game. How you doing?
That is an awesome name, by the way.
It is. Wolverine Solid X, how you doing? King Takeem and Q Reviews, all up in the chat.
Q's back. What's up, man?
All up in the YouTube chats there. I'm going to piggyback off of the Ray Fisher thing. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what's the dude that plays Falcon? Anthony Mackie.
Anthony
is
Mackie.
like, he's brought up a little bit of stink about all black crew in Black Panther is technically racist because you don't bring them around for other movies, but it's like, okay, it was Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler probably works with a lot of black folks because a lot of his movies are black, inspired black subject matter. So usually what directors do, and I've seen this, is they have a crew that they run with because they know the results they're going to get out of that crew.
Right.
So it's not even so much a racist thing. It's, like I said, I think even in our chat, Chris Nolan, for example, he almost runs with the same damn pack of actors and crew. So it's like, if you know that production assistant has been running and getting coffee and whatever the hell they got to do for the last 4 movies, and they have 0 problems out of them, guess who you're going to hire for the 5th movie that you do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, or the 6th movie or whatever.
Sounds just
It's
like
not
what contractors do.
exactly. It's like you hire people that you know can get the results you want. It's not even so much you got to get a black gaffer. Why? If the gaffer that I've been working with for the past 5 movies has been doing a bang up job, I don't want to replace him. He's coming with me to all the projects I do, because when I say, hey, I need this set up properly, I don't have to run behind him and check. It's good. So it's not, and the thing is, and a lot of people get hung up on hire a black. It's like, no, tell them black folks and black parents to stop telling all their kids, oh, you're going to be the next LeBron. Freak, you're not. You know how talented LeBron was and the work he put in to be that good? Stop trying to make them to be the next rapper. A lot of the music now ain't that good. Let's just be real. So push them towards some of the journeyman type of projects and jobs and apprenticeships and all that. Push them towards that sort of stuff, because I will definitely say this. The technology gap has completely narrowed. Back in the day, it's a heck of a lot easier to make a movie than it is back in the day. You don't have to go out and buy film. You don't have to run around with no 50-pound camera. You can go out and shoot stuff. So guess what? If you want to get these film jobs, go out buy yourself a camera and not a basketball. Go out buy yourself a camera and not a damn pair of cleats. Because not everybody's gonna be the next LeBron. Not everybody's gonna be the next whatever. Make your kid be the next Ava DuVernay.
Or you could make them be the next Bobby Bonilla, because that's my thing.
Have fun.
So, today is July 1st, and since 1999, sports fans around the world have said that this is Bobby Bo Day or Bobby Bonilla Day. Let me tell you about Bobby Bonilla if you're not up on
Bonilla.
sports. Bobby Bonilla, yeah. But my man has absolutely finessed the New York Mets in legendary fashion. My man hasn't played for the New York Mets since 1999. He retired from the MLB 2 years later. My man, every July 1st, has been paid $1.2 million and will keep being paid $1.2 million till 2035. How do you flex someone that has only owed you $5 million? They only owed him $5 million, and instead of buying him out outright, they just stretched his contract out to 2035.
I think
36 years.
I think somebody's crotch got grabbed before that contract was
Something?
signed. So, because that's about the only leverage you could have over somebody, where like somebody grabbed somebody's crotch and it wasn't supposed to happen, and you didn't want nobody to find out about it. So you was like, right? You was like, all right, brother, all right, I'm gonna cash you out.
Yeah.
You gonna get, because what else would it be? If I owe you $5 million, guess how much money you gonna get?
$5 million.
That's it.
Right.
So he's got somebody blackmailed to the nth degree.
So here's the thing, and this is just real brief before we wrap up Run the Gamut. But the reason it is so generous is due in part because the team owner made investments. No, he made investments with Bernie Madoff,
Good.
Okay.
the notorious Ponzi scheme guy. So that's part of the reason why he got finessed. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. The most
man.
legendary
That's
sports deal ever.
Yeah. That's the newspaper version. The real version, somebody's crotch got grabbed. Or shouldn't have been grabbed. That's what I'm rolling with. Somebody grabbed somebody the wrong
CDs
way.
here.
Right.
No kahunas.
That's about the only explanation for that.
No, yeah, no, I feel you on that. But no, that's Run the Gamut. Let's move on to celebrating one of the great Hollywood actors / comedians of our time. Today marks the 68th birthday of one Mr. Daniel Akroyd. He is a comic legend, SNL alum, starred in I don't know how many incredibly genre hit movies, whether it be Ghostbusters, whether it be Trading Places, whether it be the Blues Brothers, whether it be Spies Like Us with Chevy Chase, whether it be The Great Outdoors, whether it be Dragnet, whether it be Driving Miss Daisy. I mean, he's been in a lot of shit. So over the years, what is everybody's like favorite role that Dan Akroyd has ever played. Can we come up with like a top 5 list of his role of the roles that he's ever been in?
He was such a dick in The Great Outdoors, though. But it was
What you know? I loved it though. It was great.
It was hilarious.
though.
It was.
I mean, Caddyshack, man. He did
Trading Places was great.
Trading
I would
Places
put that
was
up
good.
there.
One of my favorite, and I'll let one of y'all go first because my favorite is real. I don't know. Y'all might not even expect it from me. So I'm gonna let y'all go.
All right.
So
Cool. Man, let's start with you. What's your favorite Dan Akroyd role?
Man, I'm just gonna give the normal one. You know, I love Ghostbusters.
That's
though.
fine.
Like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna just get that on out the way. You
Ain't
know,
nothing
like
wrong with
that's just, man. Dan Aykroyd in that movie, to me, him and Bill Murray.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
together mesh so good. You know, like in the movie that it was just like hot and cold. He was the corny one. He was the like the Stifler. You know, like Bill Murray was like the Stifler type. You know, just talking all types of junk. And then it's just like, okay, this dude's smart. This dude's smart, but this dude don't act smart. But this dude acts smart. Though. You know, like, it's like I love it. I just love Dan Aykroyd and then Blues Brothers. Sorry, no, like Blues Brothers was just.
I hear you.
It's classic.
Yeah, it's classic, just a classic movie. Good music. Like, just you could sit up and actually watch that and tap your feet as the
Right.
movie goes
Yeah.
through. Like, that's
Right.
one of those movies.
Right.
Not Blues Brothers 2000, just Blues
Yeah,
Brothers.
no. They never should have made that. They never should have made that. And it's funny, you know, you talk about Blues Brothers, like, you know, him and John Belushi were like being poised to be like the next great comic duo that was supposed to take over until, you know, obviously John unfortunately passed away. But, you know, that was like a seminal role for both of them. Like, you know, John Belushi had Animal House, but him and Dan Aykroyd and Blues Brothers is like legendary. You know, that's some great shit.
Right.
Fallon, what's your favorite Dan Aykroyd role?
I mean, aside from the obvious ones, I think like a little bit of at least like I think like it's a little bit less mentioned in certain circles, but among my top favorite was Beldar Conehead in Conehead.
Conehead.
Like
Conehead. I haven't seen that movie
enjoyed-
forever.
I enjoyed that movie a lot as a kid,
That
and
wasn't
like
even
I've
on my
watched it.
radar.
I watched the movie again like the last few years. It's still just as funny as it was when I was a kid. And plus, like, you know, it was like a lot of who's SNL alum that was in the movie as well. I mean, Chris Farley, David Spade, like other people, like smaller roles like Sinbad, Adam Sandler, Eddie like a lot of people showed up in this movie. So, but like the thing is, it was a very nonsense movie, but it was such a fun and funny movie that he was in. The only other one I could think of, as far as like the more obscure ones or whatever, is of course, My Stepmother's an Alien. Not many people
My
talk
man,
about
that was my
I
shit
haven't
back in the
seen
day.
that forever.
That was my
either.
shit back in the day.
Gosh.
I'm not gonna lie.
You pulling out some of the old ones.
Yeah,
I forgot
that was
all
my shit
about.
back in
Yeah,
the day.
like a lot of it surprised me. A lot of people don't remember it.
That was my shit back in the day. I love that shit. That shit was great.
I think one
I
of
did.
my favorite ones though was mentioned in the chat. Was Trading Places. That one, and Trading Places tripped me out though, because this is not about Dan Aykroyd. This is more about God, why I can't remember her name right now.
Kim Basinger.
No,
No, he's talking about
Jamie Lee Curtis, right?
Yeah.
Jamie Lee
So I've
Curtis.
always seen Trading Places on TV. I never knew this movie had her topless in it until I saw it on HBO or whatever. And I'm watching it sitting at the break room at work, and I'm like, holy shit. But yeah, I still like I like that movie because like it was just him and Eddie Murphy, and it worked well together, just seeing their lives flipped upside down.
Yeah.
And even though it may sound sacrilege, I'd like to see a movie like that made today.
Man, enough of the reboots, man.
Hey, if a movie, if they can do it, and now mind
They
you,
do it right.
they don't really do remakes, right? I mean, can we name one off the top of our head, a remake that was done right recently?
Or done better?
I can't, not off the top of my head.
Definitely not Total Recall.
Yeah, this,
I mean,
there's not a lot.
considering that it's more of like a culture clash genre film. I mean, we've had a lot of those since then. So like, I would just compare with other movies that's in the same vein rather than just saying like, oh, we need a remake of it. I mean, it's like it could be. I mean, we've had like a lot of examples where it was like the clashing of like different ends of the social spectrum
Well,
by
the closest
whatever,
example,
so.
the closest example of that, or not closest, but most recent example of that, what you're talking about, would be that movie that Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart did. I think it was called Get Hard. Or
Yeah,
something like
which you can kind of take or leave with that one. So it's
exactly. So I mean, it wasn't the same plot, but it was still the same kind of
Got a different what's it called? Like you got Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd was in the 90s was a okay film, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but the remake was
100%.
wow.
That shit was hard.
Yeah.
That shit went hard for real.
Wow.
Yeah, that shit went hard. That shit was awesome.
That's-
Yeah.
All right, we got
that's
a
when
few
you
of
do
them.
it right.
We got a few of them in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, because Q review says The Thing. Okay, The Thing most definitely, but that's not recent. Planet of the Apes. I guess you can say that one.
Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah.
Jumanji, I wouldn't
That's
call a
fair.
remake. That's more of a sequel because
it's kind
they
of
acknowledge
continuation.
Wait, which Planet of the Apes?
the new one that came out with the.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking
not
about
the
Wahlberg.
not Wahlberg.
No.
I think he's talking about the
With
new
Michael
ones that
Jackson
came out.
monkey in there.
Yeah. No.
And he also mentioned The Fly, and The Fly is another one from the 80s, dude. So I would say, that remake was good. I'm just talking about, like, when I say recently, I'm talking about, like, in the new century.
The last 10 years.
And one last thing before we go, Hannah Omega keeps saying nobody here has love for Detroit. I have, Dr. Detroit. And I like Dr. Detroit because that's where that line came from. I'm going to rip off your head and shit down your neck. That was freaking great.
Okay. So, GQ, what was yours?
Dragnet.
Yes, his
Dragnet.
Joe Friday was the shit.
His Joe Friday, like literally, when I saw that film, actually had me go back and watch some of the original just to see like how close did he get, and it was amazing.
Yeah, he was on.
How like on point he was for
Yeah,
that. So
he
it
was on.
just, Dragnet, and then that was good Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
That was Tom Hanks, like not being like big huge megastar.
That was-
I won an Oscar for Walking
That
Outside.
was pre-big, I want to say. It was like right before big.
It was probably right around the same time.
Yeah, because Dragnet came out, what, 1986?
It was 86, 87.
Yeah, okay, so it was around the same time. So, but that was still like Tom Hanks bachelor party Tom Hanks,
right?
That
it was approachable Tom Hanks.
Yes,
like I can have a beer with this guy.
It wasn't the serious actor guy. Yeah,
not I win an Oscar because I walked around the corner. Tom Hanks.
yeah.
There was a point in time where they was just like Tom, you want another Oscar, man?
Here,
go ahead, take that Oscar.
Take that one.
Take that Oscar.
Yeah. You want
like,
another
dude.
one? The yearly one? Ah.
Right.
Hey, how about Forrest Gump? Hey,
Forrest Gump. First of all, I'm still mad about this. Forrest Gump robbed Shawshank.
It did
so hard.
It did.
So hard.
No, it did. No, it
It's-
did. It did for sure.
Shawshank should not have got.
Absolutely
Shawshank
did.
should have got something. Damn it.
Yeah, it really should have.
They think it just took everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's like Forrest Gump ain't even really that good. It's just.
It's a good one-time watch.
You're right. It's a feel good for people that grew up in that era.
Yeah. It was just such a charming film, is what it was.
Right.
All the
I can watch
time.
Shawshank right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'll see y'all later.
No, those were a lot of really great Dan Akroyd roles. Obviously, he's acted in other things. Like I said, I mentioned Driving Miss Daisy.
Happy Canada Day as well.
Yeah, Happy Canada, and he is Canadian. And he is Canadian. So there's that thing. But obviously, he acted in Driving Miss Daisy. He was also in My Girl. I don't know if he was in My Girl too. He probably was, but I don't remember. Doesn't matter. But
I ain't gonna lie though. Real quick.
Yeah.
He had the best cameo in that Ghostbusters remake though.
Yeah, he did.
As the taxi driver, that
Yeah, he
was
did.
hilarious.
Yeah, he did.
And he has vodka. Or he had vodka. I don't know if he still has
The
it.
skull,
the skull
what you got?
vodka.
I think
Yeah.
I've seen it at the store, so I still think it's around.
The one that's in the skull.
Yeah,
Crystal Skull.
that's
That's
his.
it.
Yeah, that's
I got
his.
two of them damn things in my bathroom. man.
That's Dan Akroyd.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, y'all. So, happy birthday to Mr. Dan Akroyd. Any comments before we move on in the chat?
Well, quick. Mr. Rigor Mortis out of the chat said the modern day Invisible Man remake was really good.
That was. I actually recently just watched that. That was actually pretty decent.
My wife just watched a review about that, and I was over her shoulder listening, like
Yeah, you should watch it. It was actually pretty good. It was
Also,
yeah.
Mr. Rigor Mortis, Ace Chemicals. That's all I got to say.
Watch GQ's review this week if you want to know what that's all about.
Yep.
So, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next segment, which kind of ties into our main event. It's the latest episode of The Collector.
I present to you The Collector.
Muted.
everyone, welcome to another episode of The Collector. I am GQ, The Collector. So today we're going to be looking at the Star Wars Black Series. They started off in August of 2013, and as you can see, I've got quite a few of them. But I don't have them all, but we're going to take a quick look at the ones that I do have, so let's get started. I've actually got 29 different Star Wars Black Series items. So we're going to start off in no real true order except for the first ones that I did get. We got Pilot Luke Skywalker. We got one of my favorite characters, the infamous Darth Maul. We've got a Sand Trooper. We've got Slave Leia. Now, I know it's not, proper to call her Slave Leia anymore, but that's what it says on the box. Slave outfit, Slave Leia. You got the man himself, Boba Fett. We got Anakin Skywalker. Now you notice these first ones that I showed have the orange stripe on them, or the orange box. That's from the original line, or first 4 waves, basically. And of course, you got the other man, Darth Vader, and Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi. Now, those are in the second, well, not second wave so much, but I guess second season, I guess you could say, where they have the blue boxes. But those are the last times that they had those larger boxes with the blue or orange stripe on them. But we're moving into the newer stylized boxes. We got the carbonized graphite Mandalorian. Now, this one is worth quite a bit. So I'm going to move him off to the side by himself. We've got old Luke Skywalker. Got Kylo Ren. We've got K2SO from Rogue One. The other thing about the Black Series, I don't really collect them for any particular value or anything. I just kind of grab the characters that I like. We've got Director Krennic. We've got Grand Admiral Thrawn, who is of course from Extended Universe. We got C-3PO. We've got Ghostly Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I believe was a Walgreens exclusive. We've got Count Dooku. We've got Lando Calrissian. We've got Darth Revan. I picked this one up because I thought it was cool that they brought the video game character in. We've got Sabine Wren from Star Wars Rebels. We've got Sabine Wren again because, hey, why not have 2? We've got the Mandalorian. And of course, speaking of 2, there's another Mandalorian. And we got Prototype Boba Fett, who was from, again, like I said, those first 2 original series. Also, they have these little dioramas. So I got Rey from, I think that's actually from Last Jedi. And we've got a Gamorrean guard. You can't have a Gamorrean guard without his master, Jabba the Hutt. This little beauty, I picked this up just on GP. It is the Shadow Squadron Stormtrooper and Scout Trooper. Now this one is just awesome because it's Stormtroopers completely in black with a black speeder bike. That was my Star Wars Black Series figures. Hey, before I forget, one other big thing that I also have from the Black Series, I got myself a TIE Fighter too. So, hey, make sure you stick around to the end of the show. So if you have any questions about these for the Power is Yours segment. I'm going to turn it over to you, the viewer, and that way you guys can ask whatever questions you got to ask. And hey, hopefully I can answer them all. So I'm going to turn it back over to the guys in the studio. Guys, take it away.
Culture Junkies!
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Got this guy that just came in.
Oh,
the
it's the
child.
From,
The child.
Not Baby Yoda.
Yeah, not
Right.
Baby
Get
Yoda,
it right.
The child.
The child.
But yeah, so that's essentially my Star Wars Black. I think that's all the Star Wars Black stuff I have. The helmets, I don't count those. I mean, I have those as well, but I don't count those because they're not figures. But I do have a lot of the Black Series helmets as well.
Yeah.
But
the die-cast ones or the ones you can actually
the ones you can wear. Yeah, the ones that you can wear. Yeah, I wasn't really into that. You talking about the little miniaturized die-cast?
Yeah, I don't like
I wasn't into those because I'm like, I'm gonna use it for a paperweight. Like,
That's pretty
you know
much
what I'm
all it
saying?
is.
Like,
Stop
So-
that Baby Yoda, John P. Rigor Mortis.
Right. No, so it's I don't know. I like them because they are highly articulated. They're highly detailed compared to the original ones that we all grew up with. You
The
know,
Kenner ones.
3 3/4.
Yeah.
The Kenner ones.
Yeah.
The stiff arm.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Because
Yeah.
I didn't notice one in there. Did you have a hard time finding, or maybe I didn't see him? That Mace Windu?
I didn't pick
Windu
up Mace.
he just recently dropped not too long ago.
Yeah,
man.
I think.
Black
Yeah,
Series.
I don't
Are you
think.
telling me they just now do?
Just now.
Yeah.
You had to get
outta
him in.
here.
You had
Come
to
on
get
now,
him in like
come
an
on now.
SH figure art. So
Come on
if
now.
you wanted a Mace Windu
Come on
to
now.
fit into
Yeah.
that.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the very first one they dropped was Luke Skywalker and his X-wing pilot. So you know where their head is at is old trilogy. They was working.
You know,
their way,
I get it.
They were working their way through that, and then they started bouncing around.
But the new trilogy, well, not the new trilogy, but that one
Prequel.
is like 20 years old
I
now.
understand that, but the other
Yeah.
one was 40 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
But when the Black Series first started coming out?
What did I say? I think 2013.
Oh, so that's relatively recent.
Yeah, the Black
right.
Series is fairly new.
I got you. I thought they were a little bit older than that.
Oh nah. It's just one of those that we would have loved to have had these when we were kids, but they would have probably cost in 80s money. They probably would have cost like $30 each. So for a fact, it's like you're getting one.
I was gonna say,
you're getting one for Christmas, maybe two. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That,
Shit, I felt lucky. I got the X-wing and the TIE Fighter for Christmas one year.
Exactly.
So I felt real lucky.
And you know what, Mom? I'm still upset about this. The USS Flag was 100. Granted, it was 100 and I think
107. It was
180.
It was almost $200 in
it was
Toys R Us.
close to $200.
Yeah.
I could have had one of those.
Yeah.
That's just if all I had to do was ask for it. Now,
Yeah.
granted, that would have been the only toy I got for that Christmas.
Sure.
But damn it, that thing would still be in pristine. Well, let me be real. It would have been close to pristine condition.
As close as
That
it
thing would
could
have
be.
been in your attic right now. You'd have been like, you'd have forgot all about it.
Man.
Because isn't it
I don't
as
know.
big as this table?
Dude, 7.5
Yes.
feet long.
Yeah, it
dog.
was.
Yeah.
Dude,
seven
it
and a half
literally
feet long.
sits full size jets on it. I think it's like 3 of them
Yeah,
things
you can get
sit
three,
on there. I'm like,
3 of the
Did
skyscrapers.
it float?
No,
Hell
because
no.
the thing
Could you imagine
the
if
thing
it
was,
did?
dude, whose bathtub you putting that in?
Yeah, it's like put all those rich
Come on,
kids
every
against
damn
swimming
kid in
pools.
America
no
go try.
cool with that baby.
Yeah.
You know whose bathtub would fit in? That kid Francis from
Francis from
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll fit in there.
Here's the thing,
pool.
now, how you clean that, man, as a bathtub? That's
That's a
disgusting.
pool.
That's disgusting.
That's just a pool,
That's
man.
disgusting.
That's
but
all.
no, so anyway, the flag was, and then again, I'm sure Maine knows this. The flag was a playset, so it only like the part, like that whole part that looked like a ship was just a strip of plastic that you slid in on one side, and you were hiding the fact that all the little struts and stuff it was standing on,
Wow.
because it was it was a playset. It wasn't meant to
Right.
be Now, granted, G.I. Joe still to this day holds the record of the biggest toy ever made. Because 7.5 feet long, that's huge.
That
about
space
that?
shuttle wasn't
That's
small.
that
either.
space shuttle was at least half the size of this.
How big
thing.
is that? Granted, we consider Legos toys. How big is that new Death Star? The one that's like, was it
Lego
got
Death
like
Star?
10,000 pieces
It's
or
probably
something
about
like that?
it's probably about this big when
But see,
completed.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
then
flag
when you
was
put
the
'em together.
longest.
The flag.
was
No,
the
it
longest.
wasn't it was the biggest toy ever made.
Yeah.
It was 7.5 feet long.
Yeah.
You
That
can,
thing
you
was
can see it right now at my job if you go up there.
Oh, they
We
got one there?
Yeah, Mike got one up there at the top. I think he got
wow.
about 15,000 on it or something like that. So it's sealed.
It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, ain't nobody
It's
buying that.
sealed, bro. He didn't had a couple people make offers on it, and not no cheap ones.
Real?
Yeah.
15,000.
Here's the thing, though.
Wow.
Wait, 15,000 or 15,000?
1,500.
No.
1,000?
You said
No,
15,000?
The box is like $400, bro.
Okay, that's fair.
Shit.
Because the thing is, when I was
Okay.
in Vegas, I went to the remember the guy that used to be on the toy expert for Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
I went to his store and he had one sealed box, but he had it in acrylic too. And I'm just like,
man, he had it.
I'm just looking at it. I'm just like, you know what?
You can get an open one for $1,000 right now on eBay.
Yeah, it's like if I go to the right casino out here in Vegas and get real lucky,
Real lucky.
real lucky, I could buy this thing and ship it home. But it's that to me is still my holy grail toy is the USS flag.
That's
I'm gonna be
a lot of
100% honest.
G.I. Joe grill.
Oh yeah, that
collector
thing
stuff.
is
It's freaking huge.
All right, Mr. Rigor Mortis in the chat saying the only toys he collected as a kid was everything turtles, and I'm right there with you.
Oh, I had a bunch of turtles too.
When the Turtles toys came out, that was literally I think Turtles was still around allowance, like it was getting allowance, and
Yep,
it wasn't
it
working
was
yet.
allowance.
Yeah, it wasn't working. So I would usually take my allowance and get 1 or 2 Turtles toys every single week
KB
for a
Toy
while.
Store?
Yeah, I went to Toys R Us more. Only reason because, and you know this, we all know this, KB was a little bit higher than everybody else for some reason.
Not really.
It depends.
It depends on what figure it was,
Right.
because you can go in there with $20 and walk out with about 6 X-Men.
It depends. No, you're right, but it depends. And you know what? KB was higher on video games. That was
Yes.
definitely the one that really got on my
Jesus.
nerves. But and then Children's Palace was higher too.
Yeah.
Dude, I do not remember the price of Children's Palace. I remember Children's Palace.
Children's Palace was high, and remember Electronic Boutique before they became
EB.
EB Games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Games.
saying? Man, you could go in there and see like this Nintendo 64 game that was probably like $40, and Toys R Us it'd be like 80.
Dude,
Yeah.
Like, what?
I remember that.
They were
I remember that.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Them and Babbage's was
Ooh,
just
baby.
notorious for doing that shit.
Babbage's.
Yeah. Notorious.
Dude, I remember Funko Land was trying to price gouge on Shadows of the Empire when it came out. Because Shadows of the Empire, anybody that was old enough to remember, the Super Nintendo's launch. Was it Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64? Which one am I thinking of?
Shadows of the Empire came out.
That was 64.
64. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm thinking of the 64's launch was pretty slim pickings on games because
it was.
You had
Super
Mario
World.
and you had Pilot Wings.
Yeah.
And then maybe you found
When did
something
Wave
else.
Race come
Right.
out?
Wave Race probably dropped like maybe a week or two later, but me personally, I wasn't looking for that one. I was all about Mario,
Right.
And I heard Shadows of the Empire was coming. I
Yeah.
was just like, oh my god, I gotta get that game. Then I went up to Funko Land. You know the one over by that Target that's now a GameStop.
Right.
I walked in and it was sitting right there. I'm like, oh sweet, y'all got it. How much? $125. I was just starting to reach for my wallet. I was like, oh hell no.
Yeah, that's back in
Like,
the
how
day
much
when they
money?
used to freaking
Whatever
whatever they want.
It
Yeah.
didn't have a guideline for
Yeah.
pricing.
Yeah,
back
I was
then.
like, I'm gonna walk right out the door. It was
Yeah,
like,
that's
come
not
on,
happening
dude.
now.
Right.
Like, nah, man.
All right.
But
So,
so yeah, anybody, let me double check, make sure there's no questions I'm missing for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Yeah, they are talking about it because like Mr. Rick Worst talks about the turtles, and it makes me wonder: did he collect the turtles, all those weird like baseball turtles, and the
I collect. I like the first series of Turtles. And then as they started, like Playmates started just like monopolizing on whatever the hell kind of like quad they can come up with, you know what I mean? Like I was just like, okay, like
It's enough.
I don't like the Star Trek Turtles are cool.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
the Universal Monster Turtles, fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
those
right.
were dope. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that
Like,
was
but
cool.
they were just reaching with so much
they
stuff.
they
It was just like,
they was casting lines.
man, they was killing it with them. But they were snatching them off the damn
Yeah.
shelves.
Oh yeah, Fallen, what you got, man? You've been kind of quiet over there.
I think like the only thing at the time that I had, because as much as I did want to collect stuff, like I think I was just more so like into video games rather than figures. So it was like the ones that I did have, like I had probably like the only thing that I had that was still a prized possession to me, and I still hate that I don't know what happened to it, was my Falcon Zord.
Uh-oh.
'Cause
I got one
had-
missing a foot.
I had, and it was the one that was like this big. That was like
Yeah,
just one
the
part of
deluxe
like
one.
the rest of one.
Yeah.
I had that. I have no idea what happened to it. That was like the,
And that just,
the
I
main
can just hear the
process I
pain
have,
in
and it
his
was like,
voice, man. You can just
Dude,
hear the pain in
because
his voice right now.
because I hate it because it's like I didn't have that much of a concept back then, and like how like precious this stuff could eventually become. Like if I just keep up with it,
Yeah.
it's like I didn't have that mindset, so it was like something that I had, but I don't even know if it's just still like in storage somewhere or if it's just I don't know. If I happen to come across it one day, I mean, who knows? Like I just really depends, but like I'm just kind of hoping it's still somewhere within like family reach somewhere.
Right.
All right,
But
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, I'll just say just really quick. But since then, I've developed like quite a collection of things that I plan on holding on to for quite some time. Definitely from a couple of Square Enix Play Arts figures, which I have Captain America, and I also have Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. Like those are probably like the most expensive figures I have. And those, if you guys are familiar with Square Enix Play Arts, like they make some really good figures.
Oh yeah, they do.
So
yeah, they
so I think the only other one that I want to grab from them, whatever, is probably the Spider-Man one, but that kind of depends on what my budget looks like. So I have to like kind of wait and see what happens.
I got some in the chat here. We got Big Preem watching us over there in Twitch. Big shouts out to Big Preem letting us stream on his omelet. Much love. He's talking about his turtles that he had. He had Metalhead, and I remember having that one.
Yep.
And
Also known as Chrome Dome.
yeah, and Usagi Yojimbo.
Still got him too.
Yeah,
They grafted him from a
okay.
whole different storyline.
For
and
Yeah.
stuff.
real,
Put him
dog. He
into
wasn't
that,
even part of that damn comic book
I
line.
thought that was crazy that
Yeah, I
they
thought-
did that.
yeah.
It's cool that they did it though.
It was.
All right,
And he sold like.
yeah.
Too. Like he was,
yeah.
like,
He
he was
was
one of the
shit.
number one
Yeah.
figure for that
You
that year.
had if you
And them
saw him, you
toads.
bought him. You bought him
Right.
as soon as you saw
yeah,
him.
the toads were dope.
Yeah, the toad. Yeah, I remember those.
What was it? Not D'Artagnan. What was it? Didn't they have like all? They didn't.
I
Have
just watched the episode with them in it like 2 days ago, dude. Like,
It
and
was-
they were
come on,
named
like,
after Genghis Khan.
yeah, Genghis
Yeah.
Khan.
They were Napoleon, Genghis Khan. I cannot remember the other two because Napoleon and Genghis Khan was the two that was in the last episode I watched.
Yeah. But
They was country as hell. Too.
yeah, they were. Yes, they were. Holy crap! I'm gonna throw this into the chat real quick as well, and y'all rack your brains on this one. If money is no object, what is one toy that you would go back into your childhood and buy for whatever reason? If it was just a favorite or whatever, you lost one, you always wanted to get another one back. And then we're gonna let this spill over to the next segment anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna throw that out for the chat and also the panel. If money is no object and you just see it and buy it, regardless of price, what would be the one from your childhood, or that you would just be like, I have to have it?
That's a damn good one, man, because that's a damn good transition over to the next topic. So let's hit the main event.
No, that's gonna be part of the next segment. You got a lot of stuff to show, so we're gonna move on. The main event.
Now, everybody, we all here collect something. Every single one of us has something, from comic books to toys to video games. We all collect something. We love the heck out of it. But there's one thing that I fear. I don't know if you guys fear it. Is crossing over that line where you become not only a collector, but then you become a hoarder, where you just buying stuff and you collecting more than just toys. You started collecting dust, and I have a fear. I have a fear of that stuff because, like, I like so much stuff. Like, I was on eBay the other day. Like, I like video games, and I like the color green, and I know they had a green PSP, and I was like, dog, I want me a green PSP.
You got a problem, man. you might have a problem, man.
I already got 3 PSPs, right? Like, one of them's technically my wife's, one of them's mine, and you can't count the Vita's not really PSP, but it's whatever. But I wanted a green one. And in fact, there was 2 different color green ones I want. They got the mint green one, and then they got like the
metallic one.
Yeah, the metallic green one. And I was just like, and I'm sitting literally on the bed last night. My phone freaking rang off at 12 at night. I was like, all right, it's about to be over. It's $27 now. I'm gonna bid $27.
Man, that was a good.
Yeah. That bitch went up to $46, and I was just like,
Nah, I'm good.
That was still good because a working one.
It went to $46 at 2 seconds because I put 46. Somebody hit me up at 47, and it was like 2 seconds left, and I was like, crap. Now all the other ones are more expensive than that.
They reaching. Right.
Yeah, it didn't come with a battery, but like I would get on eBay, I would get on freaking shopgoodwill.com, and I start looking at freaking lots of stuff, just old stuff. Like, I got like 6 or 7 Game Boy Advances.
Wow.
Like, and I look at myself like, why do I have this many Game Boy Advances?
Right. Why do you do this?
And I want more because I need it.
I like the way he said that. He's like, I want more.
I mean, because it's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of
some
collector
green
versions
ones.
of them.
They got the freaking ones with the bright like lights or whatever. But so the big question out there for here on the panel, you and Remote, people in the chat, is when does collecting become hoarding?
Yeah, and like even to follow up or even expound upon that, like what drives you to do that? Like what is this compulsion to drive you to do that? So like our special guest today, obviously, he's a big collector of toys, and he's
also a slanger.
He's a slanger of toys too. But and he brought a lot of stuff to actually show off to us. To some of the stuff that he's even found that he probably even forgot that he even had in his collection. So man, show us what you got, like what you brought with you. And kind of like speak on that. What is it that drives you to like collect?
All right. Well,
and like, do you run out of space?
Oh, I've been ran out of space. I'm at the point now where figures got to turn sideways. Like they can't just stand in there and have poses and stuff. Everybody is like single file line. Stand here, please. You can't just.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's a very thin line. And I think it really comes into the point when you start buying multiples of the same damn thing.
Yeah.
That's this guy.
Right. When you have multiple of the same thing. Now, I'm a Hulk collector. I like Hulk. I like He-Man. I like Thundercats. I boast that I probably have like the second biggest Hulk collection in Michigan. Probably, like action figure wise. Like action figure wise. Not books and stuff like that, but action figure wise.
Okay.
And there's no doubles up there.
Right.
I don't believe in buying doubles of the same damn figure. You
Right.
know, like I let them breathe. I don't keep them in packages because that's more space. You know, then you got a box. It's more damn space. You know, then you got to find somewhere to put the box now. You know, so but it is a very thin line when you start buying the same thing over and over again, and you have absolutely no reason to, and you keep on doing it. You know, that's where it really draws the point at. And if you're not getting rid of some of this stuff, like as in like selling some of it off or trading it with your homeboy to get something different, you know what I mean, like that, then yeah, you're getting to the point where you're a hoarder. You know what I mean? Like it's getting bad.
Yeah.
But as he was talking about like stuff that I forgot that I had, this is the story behind some of these books is like I started out real young with collecting. I've wasn't really big into books. I'm still not big into books like that. But I do like key issues. That's my biggest thing when it comes down to books is finding key issues. Now, my godmother, she started me off. She gave me pretty much like 2/3 of her collection, and which was all the triples and doubles. You could have them. No X-Men. Well, I got some X-Men, but that was like the triples of the X-Men, like for real. So she gave me all these books. I went through them. I'm not a big DC fan still to this day, so I was like, I got rid of a lot of them. I gave them to my little cousin. My uncle calls me the other day. He's like, I found these books, and these are books you gave the boys about 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago. And they still clean as hell, but some of the stuff that came back was just like, okay, I handed away gold. Like, and anybody that like collects books and like that's out there in the community that's watching right now, if you know anything about like the Judas contract and stuff like that, then you know books 1 through 3 and book what was it, number 44? Yeah, 44.
The new Teen Titans.
The new Teen Titans, which is the first appearance of Nightwing. I gave this away 20 years ago to my little cousin. It just came back to me. It's not going anywhere now. Like,
it better not.
It's definitely staying in the spot.
Shit.
You know, it's not going anywhere. Captain Marvel, the first appearance of Captain Marvel.
Wow.
Not Marvel.
Marvel,
right,
the
right
original,
way.
the
original
original Marvel Captain Marvel, not the original Captain Marvel, because that was actually Shazam.
Not Shazam.
Yeah.
Get that good and clear for people
Right.
to be like, oh no,
Right.
Like no, what's going on? But the book it's beat. Don't get me wrong, but it's the nostalgic thing about the situation. She also gave me a bunch of other stuff, but other books and stuff like stuff you don't see often.
The first appearance of Black Panther.
That is amazing. Right
Yeah.
there.
Nice.
That's a great book.
Now that's one you need to go ahead and just get graded.
Oh yeah, it's not one of the greatest
Don't
grades
matter.
of books, but it does
don't
need
matter.
to, it does need to go.
It
to
needs to get
CGC.
graded. Yeah.
But by me being a collector, I had to find a way to make my collection play for itself.
Right.
So in order to make the stuff pay for itself, I started selling some of this stuff up because I started collecting. I started getting too much stuff in because
Right.
I'm going out, I'm thrifting, I'm going to garage sales, I'm buying stuff off of people and stuff start coming in to the point of stuff that I'm not collecting, stuff that I don't deal with, and I'm
Right.
like, wow, some of this stuff is valuable and stuff.
Right.
This was like 10 years ago, so I'm like, I jumped in and I'm always out and about hunting, so I run across a lot of wild stuff and like a lot of media. I'm always looking for media and stuff, so I like to find stuff that you don't see often. Try to get the glare
Fright
off
I
that
want to see
boy.
that movie now. Though.
Fright House.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fright House.
Never
Yeah,
seen
okay.
it. I want to see it.
I
gotta see if I
want
can find
everybody. I was just out watching it. You go ahead on eBay, type in
I already
Fright House VHS. And
How
see,
much is it?
$199.99 is going for right now.
You joking for the
Nah,
VHS?
wow.
Look right here, $199.99.
Yo, that's
Man.
crazy.
Crazy.
You'd be
Wow.
surprised like how like VHSs go for these
And I thought
days.
those
Bro,
black.
So,
They live. It's still $65.
Wow.
I think They Live is also because they haven't released it on Blu-ray yet.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they did?
They did. They
really?
had a box set and everything
Oh,
for it and
okay.
everything. But the VHS itself has always still remained between $40 to about $75.
Wow.
Like it's crazy. Like
Nuts.
I
Yeah.
go out, I look for books, certain books. I don't really deal too much in books. This is the first printing of the Glass House tapes. This is a book from the 70s.
Wow.
This is more into the Black Panther movement and stuff like that. This is
Okay.
a very good read. This is a very rare book. And I'm not gonna say it's very rare, but it's a rare book. It's not a book that you run across often.
Right.
It is expensive. It is about $100 book. Anybody that's really into the Black history or just authors or Black authors and stuff like that might have heard of Donald Goines. Donald Goines wrote Dope Fiend. Dope Fiend, first printing. He wrote this book while he was locked up. This is one of those wow books. Right. And the second book I forget was what was it? Son of a Pimp, Child of a Pimp, something like that. Was the second book. He wrote 2 books while he was locked up, while he was in prison. Okay, one of these other books, one of these books that like your grandma probably read.
Fantastic Mr. Fox by Roald Dahl.
Wow.
Of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory fame.
First print.
I want to see that movie. I never saw it. I don't know if it's like the book.
The Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Yeah, everybody says it's a great movie.
That movie is awesome, bro.
I never saw it's in my queue, but I just never sat down and watched it.
Watch it. Bite that gummy that you were talking about earlier and watch it.
Yeah, so like I'm sorry, go ahead, Fallon. What were you gonna say?
No. I was just agreeing. I was just agreeing with.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Because here we are talking about myriad collections and stuff like that. So we don't have a picture of your house, and I'm sure if we had a picture of your house or your storage space, it's probably head to ceiling, floor to ceiling, full of like long boxes, short boxes, just stuff everywhere, right? So first, let's show some examples of like, because when people collect stuff, a lot of people, they have control over their collecting habits. Like GQ is a great example of that. Like his collection is immaculate. Like he hasn't collected to the point where he looks like a hoarder. Although in some people's eyes, he probably is coming really close, like very close. Like, but if you were to like, we can show a picture of the dungeon, basically GQ's basement, and this is kind of what it looks like.
Still, the dungeon sounds like something you don't want to hang out in.
No, that's okay.
Now here's the funny thing.
Right.
This picture actually is old. That is a slightly older picture.
Right, because the arcade 1-up machines aren't there.
Right, the arcade 1-up machines aren't there. There's obviously more helmets that are up there because Vader's helmet's not up there. But realistically, the whole idea behind mine was, I don't mind covering the walls. I don't mind covering, like as far as the spread. It's like, look, I want there to be walk space, but at the same time, it's like, given what we do, I want there to be areas where I can film. So that's why I had zero problems with the walls being covered, because it's like, okay, if I turn in each corner of my rec room, basically, I have a filming spot.
Right.
Even with the couch, it's like I could film on the couch because there's literally nothing behind me on the couch. It's just it looks like it's a blank wall, even though there's a shelf above you on the couch. But the idea with it was, the cabinets are obviously for high-end stuff. The other stuff that's on the right-hand side there is like more video game collector's edition stuff, like stuff that came with video game collector's editions. Because, again, they have value to them, but they're usually kind of cheaply produced and they're mass-produced anyway.
Right.
Now, one that I did put an order in for, and you guys will get an unboxing pretty soon, if it comes next week, is the company Project Triforce, I believe was the name of it. They went bankrupt. And they were the ones that were tasked with doing the Batman Arkham Knight Batmobile that was supposed to come out. So I found a company in Poland, actually, that bought, I guess, all of the ones that when they liquidated all of their assets, I guess this company in Poland was like, we will take every single one of those that y'all was basically trying to get rid of. Because I guess Warner Brothers originally told them to destroy these because, as you guys know, Warner Brothers canceled that game 5 days before that collector's edition was supposed to drop.
Yeah, everybody was heated too.
I was heated especially because I had it pre-ordered the moment they announced it. It was like, oh yeah, put your pre-order. Okay, here's all the money right now. A year in advance, let's go. And then 5 days right before they were supposed to drop it, oh yeah, the Batmobile edition will not be coming out.
Yeah,
we hope you can find. It's like, hope. You better have the statue version ready, like on standby for me, because I had my money down already. But we'll get into that. That's a whole different.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. Yeah, a lot of people in the chat are like, man, John P is like, good job on letting everything have its place. Ace Arcadia giving a thumbs up, says it's nice. King Takeem is like, I want to be GQ when I grow up. So
he got the anal setup. You know what I'm saying? You can tell he probably sitting over there, like when somebody come over there and never been over there before. It's like, you better not touch shit.
Right.
And the thing is, That is 100% true. But no, here's the thing, and you're absolutely right about that. But the thing is, that's why I like how the new PlayStation 5 looks. It looks like you are not supposed to touch it.
Yeah.
So
Don't you touch my sister.
Right. So when my nephews come over, it's literally already known. Don't even reach towards the glass. Because you know you can't or you cannot afford to replace that. So if you break it, you know I'm going to make you buy it.
A true collector, I think we emit an aura that like instantly makes people like children and those like. Because I've never had the issue with my kids growing up with them messing with my collection. They never touched it. They used to look with their hands behind their back and lean forward into it. Like, that's nice right there. Like, pointing with their nose, like that one right there. Because I don't want their hands over the thing. Like, my dog never, both of them, never had an issue with a chewed up figure. Like never. But I see people putting stuff up in the second and gnawed up little. Like McFarlane Spider-Man, $150 Spider-Man just ate up. Like, Jesus Christ.
I think. Wait, Farland, was that you sending us images?
Yeah, he sent
Okay,
some
we're
images.
gonna have to get those put up as well.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get those in there. Just give me a few minutes and I'll get over there.
But I think one of the things you run into with that, and I think it's I think it was ingrained in me at an early age because my older brother, if he's watching, he's the one that kind of got me into collecting in its own just weird roundabout way because he was into music, heavily into music, like because he used to DJ actually.
So we're talking like vinyl records, right?
Yeah, so he had a vinyl record collection. Now, young me was a dumbass. I saw.
You heard that, right? That's on tape.
No. I saw Prince's Purple Rain single. Remember that Purple Rain single that was actually purple?
Yeah. Please tell me you didn't break it.
I did break it.
Oh,
here's the thing.
right now.
Here's the thing. I replaced it about 10 years ago now, because I went to Gibraltar when they were still around, and there was a dealer there that had a bunch of vinyl records. I was like, on the off chance, let me just ask, and he had it, so I bought it. And I bought him bought a whole shadow box. Went to Michael's or whatever. Went to Michael's, bought a shadow box, made a cool display out of it, and then gave it to him as an apology. Of, because it's like I was like 5 or whatever, something when that came out.
Even though you were kind of innocent, like did he try and like strangle?
No, he was mad. He was because again,
but did he try and strangle you?
It was a first printing of that purple. And again, I found, like I said, it cost me some money on the other end of it. But out of respect, it's like, look, I broke this when I was a kid. No better, whatever. Boom, here you go. So, it's and I think that has always carried forward. Even forward is like, anytime I see people playing video games and they just had a game and then like this be on the floor, I'm like, bruh. What are you doing?
It's like this back in the
It's a $60 game, dog. Like, what else do you just do anything else with $60 items? What else do you do with $60 items that you just toss them everywhere?
I don't quite understand it because like all the games that since discs, in fact, starting with the Sega Genesis, you can't count Nintendo stuff because it was freaking cardboard. People throw those out. But the Sega Genesis came with plastic shells, and then you had anything that was CD based, right? Should always have its container, and it don't. Like I got this freaking 90 freaking CDs I bought a lot of, and I'm just thinking to myself, okay, what happened to each and every manual, each and every freaking case, all this other stuff, just gone.
And it's weird. It's just like even though I look back at my original Nintendo collection, and actually that's another thing that I actually gave to my brother. My original Nintendo and all the games I had for it, I gave to him. They had all their boxes and everything. So like that was actually technically, now I think about it, worth a lot of money.
Now it is.
Yeah,
but you remember when I was like was selling off all those games and everything? Because you bought a couple of them off of me and everything. Like, I had so many things with boxes and they were still sealed.
Yeah,
and I was trying to figure out where this lady was parking her DeLorean, but I was buying them from because they were still sealed. I'm like, girl, where you getting these Silver Surfer sealed?
That's crazy. Out of the chat, Mr. Rigor Mortis said him and his brother stomped on all his dad's vinyls.
Oh my God!
Backsides paid the price for that one.
No, he actually had asked you too. Have you ever heard of Eagle Moss?
I am familiar with them. I do not collect any of their stuff at the moment. It's not so much because he was talking about the Eagle Moss Ecto 1. which looks amazing.
Yes, it do. I've seen that. I didn't know Eagle Moss made that. That's okay.
But I'm not a vehicles person. Like with the exception of this Batmobile I got coming, because again, that's the circle being complete. I usually don't collect a lot of vehicle stuff. It's just not my thing. Like six scale sideshow Hot Toys. That's my main thing that I collect right now. But y'all got some other stuff now.
Yeah, I do. Like Maine's got his thing. Like my thing is like, and I've seen other people, and I've gone over this. Like I don't collect. Like I gather very few pieces. Like it's got a really.
You know what that's called?
What's
that's
that?
called collecting.
It's called
No. Okay.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, I still got it. Okay. What I mean by that is, I'm not like an avid collector. I collect, in spurts here.
It's not hardcore with it.
Yeah, I'm not super hardcore with it. But like for me, one of the things I've always liked is models. Like so, like I've got a Knight Rider kit that I actually bought. The little sensor light that so I'll like put it in under his hood, so like I could flip the switch and turn it on. So my thing is like it's like I like to build my collectibles. So like I bought a model like today, and you can see it. You kind of see it. I'm trying to put the glare off of it. It's the Enterprise from Star Trek Discovery, and eventually once I get the requisite lighting kit with it, so it's going to be completely lit up. So like when it's in my basement, and I have a nice little display case, kind of like GQ's got. I flip the switch. People were walking by. They're like, "Oh man, this is cool. It lights up." Maybe I'll even put like a rotoscope on it, so like be like like turning, and like slightly turning and stuff like that. So I would love to collect Enterprises. I would love to collect like even Caps, our friend Caps that plays video games. He does Gundams, right? And so and Gundams is another thing I would love to do.
Here's the thing though. You said you're gonna collect some more Enterprises.
Yeah.
Don't let Captain Picard walk past your Enterprise, man. That mother, you throw them mother.
No,
I know.
It ends right here.
Yeah, Captain Picard apparently doesn't like model Enterprise.
Yeah, apparently he does not. Apparently he does not. But I say that to say like GQ's example is great, but we've got other examples where people will go a little bit too extreme with it. You're like, are we ready, Shorty? With the images, so like some of the images, like some of the other images that we see of people in their collections. Hold on, switch it back real quick because I guess it turned off. And I'll come over and show you. But when people have like really organized their collection, but other people take their obsession with it a little bit too far, and like. You got stuff in every single little corner. Like I've seen people with like Kiss collections, and it's like, okay, they're not collecting just one. Like they're collecting everything. We're talking posters, shirts, dolls.
Stupid
Here's the thing about that though. Sometimes people are trying to get a complete collection of a particular thing, because there's video game collectors that literally have every release of like the Wii or the Nintendo.
Dude, John Hancock. He has like a complete NES, a complete Genesis, a complete Super Nintendo, complete Sega Saturn collection. I'm just like,
walls.
I'm just like, bro. And I like video games, but I don't need that much because I want to play them too.
But see, and I think that's where this topic actually finds its heart, though. It's like, okay, is that really hoarding? Because again, if he plays them, that's part of his day to day.
But if it's only one per copy then no, not really. It's just a collection.
So it's a full. Okay,
he could be just having a collection. I don't know if he sells and stuff. Like for me, I do have some doubles, but I'm selling them. Those are the ones that are sitting in a box. I got like 200 games right now that I'm trying to get rid of. That 90 pack, whatever that I bought it for $89. And I was thinking to myself, if I sell, is 90 games in there. If I sell them $2 a disc, I double my freaking money. And some of the games in there are worth more than $2. So I figure it's like I sell the ones I think for $2, then I sell the other ones for a little bit more than $2. But then I start flipping through it and I start seeing in there. I was like, oh, there's Dino Crisis. I don't have a disc Dino Crisis. Oh, it's Resident Evil 3. Man, I got rid of my Resident Evil 3. Man, should I keep it? Oh, there's a Mega Man Legends in here. I don't have Mega Man Legends. Should I keep that? I was just like, should I keep it or I sell it? Because some of those games I got digitally. And like, I don't think of collecting games digitally, even though it is still, but it's just not something you can touch. So I was like, I can still play it. So I'm sitting on the fence like, oh gosh, do I get rid of it? I can still play it. What do I want to do? So like, but there's other games like I bought Limited Run. You heard of them? They do.
Yeah.
They're more recent when it comes to PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch games. Things that would have never got a physical copy. They make a physical copy.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have like maybe sometimes 5,000 copies, and after that they're gone. You can't get any more. Right? So I started buying stuff from Limited Run, and I'll buy 2 of them. One to keep, one to sell. I made a mistake. I bought one called Plague Road. I didn't know what Plague Road was till I looked at it, and it's like a strategy game, kind of like Shining Force or something like that. I don't play those type of games.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm not to cut you off. Keep on talking, but we're gonna show off some of From Marvel's collection of what he's got. This is kind of what he sent over, so you'll see it as well.
But now I feel like I can't get rid of the Plague Rogue. It's like a plague.
Somebody will buy it.
I hope so. It's been on eBay for like.
And I mean, is it a decently priced game or is it just some bull?
I bought it for $30, I think, and the price of it not only dropped.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it dropped.
You just got to give it some time.
I
Because sometimes
give it time.
Because some things it jumps like ridiculously. Like what was that? Fight for New York on GameCube.
Oh man,
Jesus!
I still wish I kept my copy on PS2, dude. Like, that's one of the ones I regret.
All right, this is
two things, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Plague Road right now, there's one person selling it for $30 with the card, and then there's another person selling it for $18, and I'm just like,
again, it's one of those.
If I want to get rid of it, I know I can.
I understand you want to get, but it's like sometimes if you just sit on it, sometimes something weird will happen, and all of a sudden the price will just
might
jump.
grow. But then there's another game, real quick, that it was the new Monster Boy. Is it Wonder Boy or Monster Boy?
It's Monster Boy.
Because they just came out with a new one, right?
It's Monster Boy.
And I put it in my wish list on Amazon because I was like, I'm gonna wait for it to drop. Because a lot of games come out nowadays, and depending on what they are, they'll drop. They'll be like $60, and then one day you see them at $20, $15, and that's when I pounce. Right? This didn't. I went back and looked at my wish list. Not only is it not listed from Amazon officially anymore, it's like you can buy it through third party. All of it over $100 now, and I'm like, this is a new game. I was like, this. How's this game rare? What happened?
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
All right, Fallen, narrate your photos.
Yeah.
Sir.
No problem. So, as you can see, this is my MCU section, which is right in between the rest of my DVD and movie collection. And the plaque I actually got for my birthday one year from my fiance, who I love very much.
That's awesome. I'm mad at your vertical photo though.
Yeah, like because
you got a vertical TV on your wall there, buddy.
Dude, like literally, that's the only way I can capture like the whole collection.
Yeah, I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
dude. But the only thing about this that like I hate like
scissors down.
And it's mostly the, I guess Universal is that they're the only ones I've been having a hard time trying to look for a steel case for Incredible Hulk.
It doesn't exist yet. It comes out.
Yeah,
it comes out I think in September or maybe a little bit earlier. But that's why.
I hope so. But
the steel looks awesome, man.
We got a bunch of them at the store.
That's kind of the thing. Like still, like when it comes to movies, like steelbooks has kind of been my thing. Now these here are basically. Let me see. That's my.
It was like video game collector's editions. Shimmer 3,
yep.
I see there.
Shimmer 3, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I have.
Yeah, I see the set of Dragon Balls with Shinron on it.
Yep, Scorpion from MKX.
That's
Batman from Arkham
that's
Knight.
kind of from Mirror's Edge, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the Mirror's Edge because I have that one too. I just never displayed it.
Right, and also got God of War for PS4, as well as it's on like the far right, but also like Spider-Man PS4 stat for that one, of course.
Okay.
Real quick, is that one box that looks like it's sitting next to a shield? Is that the Metal Gear Phantom Pain?
Yes.
Yep.
That was good.
We got the same one. That arm.
Damn, man, that was very good.
Yeah.
I'm mad though that they didn't give us the quarter scale arm. They gave us the quarter scale arm versus the full scale one.
Yeah,
it would have been nice to have gotten like the 1-to-1, but you know,
yeah.
The 1-to-1 was like $600.
The full scale would have been expensive.
You had to get it from Japan.
Right.
Yeah. Full scale would have been expensive as fuck though. Probably.
Right.
All right. So what's the next slide we got? Oh, your little Pops collection. It's one of the Heartless. That's
a little
cool.
bit. Right. So yeah, I got that. That's from the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 of PS3 collection. It came with the Heartless plushie.
Oh, that's so cute.
And let's see, Space Invaders, little thing I got from when I was subscribed to Loot Box, Loot Crate, and then of course those are my Play Arts figures.
Noctis.
The Noctis I was talking about, and my 3 pops, which is Darth Maul, Doc Brown, and Han Solo from Force Awakens. When they were on the
who's that over there with Cap? Is that a Play Arts one too? Captain America?
No, the pop with that's Play Arts Cap. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's probably Darth Maul.
All right.
Yeah,
is
that's
that a
Darth Maul
Connect
over
I
there with
see
them.
on your? Is that on your TV? There's
yes.
2 Connects, right?
No, that's
it's so wait.
no, it's a PlayStation one, the Connect, and then the Connect Xbox one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
So
They all
I have
watching
that,
you,
and
triplicate.
Yeah, I couldn't
They
wait to get
still
rid of my
work.
Connect. They still work. Of course they do. Of course they do. Hey, wow, what is this here?
So-
It's like
This
somebody's
DVD collection?
That's video games, buddy.
That's DVD, Blu-rays, and video games.
Oh no, hold on.
So-
You ain't supposed to mix those.
Wow,
Get yourself
that's
another
all
shelf.
mixed
Beat me to it.
together.
I was just about to
Dude,
say
I don't
it's
have
like-
space
shelf.
right now for another shelf. If once
Yes,
I
you
have
do.
more space,
Hey,
I'll
hey,
make
You're
it.
like one of them people that take mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese and put that shit together. It's all going in the same place.
Okay, hold on.
That's why they're bookended the way they are, because I needed the room.
Yeah.
All right, now first of all, here's the problem. You got that. That's the show from Best Buy, isn't it? The Atlantic.
It could. I think
It is.
It is.
I
He's
know.
like,
I
stop.
got
It
it.
is.
It
I got
is,
it from a pawn shop for like hella cheap. But
I understand, but I'm just letting you know what it is because Dido has the not smaller, but he has one version of the one that you have right now. You guys need to get the ones that I have. You have to order them specifically through Best Buy's website. They don't carry them in the store.
In my ceilings
Right.
too. No, I think I can do because I got stuff on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, do I have pictures in mine? I don't think.
I don't know if you do or not,
I
but
don't know if you do.
real okay. See, now I see what
that.
you're talking about. Space.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's what.
See,
Next time I'm in Indiana.
Damn.
Next time I'm in Indiana, I'm gonna come through. I'm gonna help you organize. All right. I'm gonna help you organize.
He gonna get your shit looking spiffy though, bro.
Right. I'm gonna help you organize.
Yeah.
And again, it's not a knock on him.
This is a
And this again, I'm not even calling him a hoarder because
Right,
it's
no.
like there comes a point where you buy stuff and there literally is no space for it, and
Right.
you already got a new baby, so you are
Right.
all your money is already for the next 18 years channeled one particular direction anyway. So I already
Absolutely.
understand that.
Yeah, absolutely.
and it's like even with all this doesn't even include my comic books collection.
Oh, I know.
So-
I've heard stories about this man got filed. Remember, hey, y'all remember Denzel in American Gangster when he was pulling out file cabinets with all that money in them?
Yeah.
This man got file cabinets of comic books like that.
Now see,
So,
and he's not the worst.
It's
Like
right behind me. It's
yeah,
right
we're
behind
not
me.
talking like because his isn't an otaku room. Like this is GQ's, right? That's an otaku room, like right. So this is an extreme collector of all Paul
Beatles
McCartney
paraphernalia, yeah.
and Beatles shit.
okay, and again, I wouldn't call it shit now. They got if you
That's a lot of shit, dude.
It
Come
don't
on.
matter.
There we go.
All
I do
deference,
have one.
all deference to people's what they like, though. If
That's
you
true.
You collect what you like. Now, here's my issue with that. That's a lot of dusting. That is a lot of dusting. Like
That's
that
my
is-
biggest issue.
Yeah,
Right.
that's literally take them down, dust them off, dust the shelf that they standing on. There's a lot of issues with doing stuff like that. I think Dido's trying to get his photos in there too.
I just got one, but
You got one?
it's not how it looks now because it's an old picture.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing with me because I've been doing so much filming lately. It's like there's like light stands and all this stuff around my rec room. So it's kind of like I can't really take a picture
Right.
because there's stuff in the way,
Right.
technically. And in all honesty, there are a ton of DVDs I'm going to pull off of the DVD shelf because the DVD shelf I'm almost basically going to retire. There's no point in having it anymore. Because there's no point in having it. Because
don't
it's like,
believe
with
it.
the exception of, because again, I'm.
Oh wait, you said the DVD shelf, not the Bluray shelf.
No, Blu-rays are
okay.
still good. No,
Okay.
this is DVDs again.
Right.
4K TV DVD. It looks horrible.
Sure.
Because I tried to.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I picked up a tuxedo the other day for like $2 or something like that,
Oh
and
goodness.
tried to watch it. It was just
Wait,
like.
oh, the tuxedo. Okay,
Yeah,
with Jackie Chan.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That movie was actually fun.
It was good, man.
but
I liked
it's-
it.
But it's like I ain't gonna say it was good. It was just fun.
Okay. All right. Fair.
Looking at that movie on 4K TV is just like, oh my god, man.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. So
it's
it's like
like-
I have to get rid.
yeah.
I have to get rid of my DVDs. Okay,
So, like,
now
when
this
you
is
see-
somebody else's room.
Yeah,
Go
this is
ahead.
an otaku room too, because like you got I
That's
guess, anime
Pokemon
girls
VHS
like
looks
everywhere.
like.
You got the pillowcases and stuff like that. Okay, so when you
Okay,
get
I'm
to
not gonna do the pillowcases.
so
That's
when you
not
get to the
happening.
point of like when you're doing stuff like that, right? Like that's crossing the line to hoarding. It to me, in a
if
way.
we can go back to that photo though.
Yeah, go back one more.
Yeah, even if you got to cycle through, just hit them real quick.
Yeah,
Back to that one that
I
not.
wanted Dido's.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Right there.
There we go.
Oh, look at that one. That's
Why
not
don't you
good.
Well,
go back.
Go back one more.
Go back one.
Back one more.
Wow.
Nope,
Yep,
nope,
that's
back,
it.
We
back,
got-
back,
There
back,
you go, and
back,
boom,
right
stop. Now,
There we
here's
go.
the thing about that room. It's extremely well organized.
Yes,
though.
it is.
It is.
Like
it is.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's. I think to me the difference between a collector and a hoarder is almost the organization and it also ties into organization. If you can look into your room and look at particular stuff and kind of have a known value and you're keeping track of the stuff, that's not hoarding. I think when you get to hoarders, they're like, man, I didn't even know I had this. I don't even remember this.
Okay.
thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
You
it's
got
a whole, it's a whole bunch of stuff that's just like just piled on top of piled on top, and it's
The
just
trip
like,
factor. I call it the trip factor. When you can't walk
Yeah.
into the room
Yeah.
without stepping on shit.
yeah.
That's when you know that, you know what I'm saying, it's put together the right way. But when you walk in the room, you got to tiptoe around stuff and like, yeah, no. You should
Oh
just,
shit!
you should
Yeah,
try
yeah,
to-
you're right. Yeah, you're right. That
What?
might. It looks like it might be one. I don't know.
What?
They said up in the top left. Go back to that picture.
It looks like
in the
it's a
top,
steel though,
it,
up
like
there
in
at
the
the top,
middle,
it
yeah,
does
the top,
look
it
like
look like a damn phallus up there.
I mean, again, Disney used to hide them in they box covers. So I mean, let's just
He
like
just
that's-
hit it up in there.
Yeah.
Top
They hit
corner.
it on the top of their room.
But to that point, right? Rooms like this, like I look at it. Okay, how do you even like live in a room like that? Because it's like
That and again, that might not even be a live room. That
That's
literally
just-
might be
that's
a
that-
room to
The stress relief room.
right. Exactly. That's why my
Yeah.
rec room. Now, granted, my
Stress
rec room doubles as an entertainment spot because there is
Sure.
a TV down there
Yeah.
and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But it's designed to be filmed in for one, and then for two, it's like you said, it's designed to be lived in because
Okay.
I'm not gonna just have a space with a big old TV and a PlayStation 4 and stuff down there that I can't be comfortable in. What's the point of even having?
right. So let's look at some ones that actually are kind of more livable. Like this one's more like
That's
extreme collector. Like a lot of figures and stuff like that. Cramped in like a really small space. That's still kind of livable though, because even
Well,
though there's boxes everywhere.
I think what it is and I think Pops is what Pops. Part of the reason I don't really get into Pops is because they create
boxes.
that look.
Yeah.
Because Pops to me don't look right when they're out of the box. They just look weird. It's so hard to and it's really hard to explain. It's like. And again, the other thing with Pops is I don't like every Marvel one is a bobblehead. That pisses me off. It's like I don't like bobbleheads personally.
Right.
But all the Marvel ones are bobbleheads. I'm like, well, thanks. For
But you know what?
making it annoying.
That look and you bringing up the Pops thing. Hand of Omega actually brought up like remember Severio's wall full of Star Wars figures, the Kenner Star Wars figures,
Yeah.
and they were wallpapered to the wall.
Yeah.
Like they were from the top of the room.
I think
They were pinned.
They were
pinned
pinned.
up.
They were
Yeah.
pinned from the top of the room to the bottom of the room. It like what two walls?
I think so.
Yeah, it was
But-
like two walls, like fully facing, like
Now,
all figures.
Now, granted, I wouldn't personally do them that way, but at the same time,
next pick.
it's organized.
Yeah,
You know,
next pick.
it's organized.
So like now this one's really cool looking.
What the hell you staring at though? Just a comic wall?
Yes, no, that's literally a comic wall. Like you
that
see
looks like-
behind it,
And then those are long
long
boxes.
boxes.
They're
They're
stuck into the wall. Where
Yeah,
you
there's like
slide
little
them
long
out.
boxes.
Now-
That's a comic reading room.
Yeah, that's all that is. That's a reading room.
You just
That
going there
should
to
look
read.
like that. That should look like the front room at
Yeah.
Glass. Mr. Glass's what you call that from the Unbreakable and shit.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. And the thing is, I think with something like that, and again, that's
really cool.
That's a little bit extreme.
Yeah.
but it's still cool because
very,
again,
very nice,
that's
though.
that's their room to go in there, read their books,
And just
and
chill.
enjoy their collection.
Yeah.
So. And to me, like I wouldn't even come close to calling that person a hoarder because everything.
Oh,
is
not
clean.
at all. No, not at all.
Everything.
Not
Now,
at all.
granted,
No, that's
some
a
That's
very
way too
nice
clean.
setup.
right.
All right, and the next one I think I had one more. Did I? No. This one is more of a. I don't even know what
that's
to
mixed
say.
media.
Yeah,
that's all
yeah,
mixed
totally
media.
mixed media.
And I think what it is with that, and again, that's another one that's probably very well organized.
Yeah.
I think what you're running into with that is the fact that you don't see actual walls; you see nothing but shelves.
Yeah,
That's
more of a
different.
library.
Yeah, that's
right
more
there.
library style.
Yeah.
And again, that's somebody's viewing room or front room or probably downstairs area
Right.
or something. I could have been to that point with the amount of stuff I have, especially for Blu-rays and video games and all this sort of thing. Dido with video games, definitely.
Right.
But I don't like having just shelves. I like having spaces where you can have other things showing through. Because again, with like, with the IKEA cabinets that I have and the sideshow stuff, I would hate to just have them on shelves like that. It just doesn't look right to me.
But speak to that, I guess that compunction to have all of it, like even the stuff that you're like, even Super Nerd's on a journey to like kind of recollect a lot of pieces of his childhood. Like he collected some Turtles figures recently. He got some Toxic Crusaders figures recently. Like, and he's just going about this journey of like I want to collect every piece of my childhood that I had. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Well, what you gonna do with it? It's like, oh, I'll probably display them everywhere. And I'm like, okay, but what's this compunction to want to have all of it? Like, why?
I think part of it, and Matt, hold on, I spoke enough.
It's just, I think, well, I'm going to say it's just a feeling I have to have it. Because when you were a kid, sometimes your parents won't get you shit. And you go shopping with them somewhere and you see the stuff. Can I get this? No. Like, oh, okay. So when you become
So
adults,
you get back at your parents.
it's not really getting
no
back
to
at them.
you.
It's like, I'm going to buy it because I'm an adult now.
Right.
Because it's like that with the video games. Like, oh, I want a video game, I can buy it.
Do we got Dido's picture up?
And then like the Transformers, like, man, I was a big Transformer head as a kid. But when I look at the original ones, they're nostalgic. I love the Masterpiece ones because they look like the cartoon.
Yep.
And they transform like the cartoon. Even though it take a half hour to transform them, you don't play with them like that. I really like the Masterpiece ones. And
Like Dido's got a lot of stuff,
now,
but his is kind of neat.
Look, I'm going to tell you something. That's an old picture. That whole thing is full. Like, you see the spaces at the bottom now? It's full. And I got overflow, and I got a table in this area.
Where's your overflow? Like, what do you do with it?
That's cool.
Right now, I don't know what to do with it because I have a table that's behind my couch, and it's the box of games that I'm selling on there, the DVD case that has all those other stuff on there, and a few games that I just recently bought are there as well.
Like when you were younger, remember, like, and you told this to me, too, like when you were younger, your thing was like you wanted to collect all this stuff to do a video game museum back in the day.
A long time ago, I wanted to do a video game museum, and like it just seemed like it'd be something kind of cool to do. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm just like, video games are so popular now.
Right.
People have all this stuff in their house. Only things they would come out to see is stuff that you can't
get your hands on.
Yeah, and I haven't been getting my hands on any of that stuff.
Right.
So I was just like, you know what? Because some of that stuff, unless you're in the right place at the right time, it's expensive as all get out trying to get them. I'm just like, you know what? I'm probably not going to do that. I'm going to enjoy my stuff that I have. I want to try to play through my stuff. And if you are out there and want to see me play it, you can freaking watch us on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. That'd be super awesome. Give us a thumbs up, like, and subscribe and all that other good stuff. But yeah, my like I got rid of a lot of DVDs because though I like watching movies, a lot of them I watch once and then they just sit there.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah, so
I got rid of a bunch of them and then turned around and bought a bunch back.
And that's another thing that ended up happening. You end up like, because like for whatever I start feeling nostalgic about VHS and anime on VHS because you don't get the freaking like ADV, the freaking like
commercials
before then. And I start feeling nostalgic. I was like, man, I want to go back and buy these VHSs again. I'm like, why? But I want to. I just start feeling like, man, I could just get them cheap. They
can't
could be
you
like,
just watch those things on YouTube?
You can, and I have.
So that'll solve the itch.
All right, now I want to turn it back over to Maine on this one because he has some other stuff that he has to show off.
Oh yeah.
But also with that same question, as far as like, do you find yourself sometimes? Because again, like you said, you sell a lot of the stuff that you get too. Do you find yourself sometimes with, and again, back to that original question, excuse me, with stuff that you maybe grew up with or parents didn't buy, do you ever find yourself going out and searching to grab, like, okay, I wanted one of these, I always wanted one of these, let me buy this?
Yeah, all the time. I'm still, see, my He-Man collection is of stuff. I'm always looking for the figures that I was in love with back when we were a child, back when we were little rather. And so I've got my Castle Grayskull. I just recently bought off someone not too long ago, and I wish I had just would have emailed you guys them pictures of that. That thing is so clean. I got a hookup from somebody that I ended up knowing. You know, on the marketplace. Didn't even know it was them. You know, and I found out it was them. They was like, they gave me a good deal on it. Those are in storage. My Ninja Turtles are in storage. Street Sharks. I love Street Sharks. I love Street Sharks. My kids love Street Sharks. You know what I'm saying? They teenagers now. They don't be like, oh, man, give me another Street Shark. But, you know what I'm saying? If I come home, got extras, they like, oh, we ain't got that one. You know what I'm saying? So, but those are expensive as hell. You know what I'm saying? So, I find myself, if I find them, I pick them up. I'm not leaving no shark nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, one toy that I did have because, you know, like, it's the 80s, you know, a lot of our parents, some of our parents, you know, we from Detroit, so I'm like, I grew up in the 80s. My father was, you know what I'm saying, not one of the most legal, legit dudes, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I was rather spoiled growing up. Not real spoiled, but I had more shit than the other kids in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you was that dude on the block that had all the good shit.
The two My Buddy. I was just talking to my white buddy. I had the white My Buddy, you know what I'm saying, and the black My Buddy. The eyes open up with the motherfucking Power Wheel cheek. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only person riding up Schoolcraft and Myers with this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the hell's that? You know what I'm saying? But it was Dungeons and Dragons. Y'all remember Dungeons and Dragons when the cartoon came out, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, now the Red Dragon, the main character, and I can never remember this damn thing's name because it's a female. I always thought it was a male. And then to like maybe 2 months ago when I bought Dungeons and Dragons DVD again, just to watch, you know, the cartoon, I was like, that's a girl. It's a damn girl the whole damn time. But that dragon is very expensive now. Very, very expensive now. I had that thing. I bought it. My mom bought it for me for Christmas. The first that year it dropped. I was in love with that damn dragon, man. It's a Hydra. Got the green head, the blue head, the red head. I think it was like 4, 5, 6 heads on the damn thing.
Wow.
But I don't know where the hell that damn thing went, man. It was like one of them things that just like, you know, I was outside playing with it one day and then some bitch just disappeared. You know
my man King Takeem is always on it. Tiamat.
TMI. My man. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
He is Tiamat.
Oh, Tiamat.
Yeah.
Like Zaymat.
Yeah. Tiamat. Yeah. He's like, he always on it.
Yeah. That dragon figure was amazing. That was one of my favorite toys. The next one I would love to find again would be, and this is something that I'll have to find just like out and about on some, ooh, I found this for like $2, like that type thing, would be some tiger sharks, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those are expensive.
Bro, I wish I had my tiger sharks, man. I had so many toys growing up, and I have none now because two things either happened. I had a little brother, and he liked to and probably bust them, bro. And my cousin, they come over and they probably swap stuff. But this is the time I started transitioning in video games, and then I kind of like, it was Legos. I had my town, which I found out later they used to bust up my town and rebuild it. It's like, you fucking asshole. I'm talking about
you should have got
airport.
You some crackle.
Yeah, I wish. I had airport, freaking fire, police station, all that stuff. It was great. I love the city. Anyway, but all my He-Man toys gone. All my
Speaking of He-Man toys.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Just everything just gone.
Yeah.
And part of me wants that stuff back. There's only really one toy that I want back was Mask. And it was that copter, that green freaking motorcycle copter. I got it for Christmas when I was a kid.
For real?
Yeah, dude.
I got it in the bin for sale.
Oh, boy.
Always got a little bit of something.
And I was just like, I can't even remember what it was called. But I remember getting it for Christmas as a kid. And that was like my favorite toy because I don't even remember anything else. And then a Transformer. It was the Power Master Optimus Prime, where you put the thing in his chest. You end up losing that first. And then you got
that was like G.I. Joe's. Like, as soon as you open up a G.I. Joe's, you lost 3 guns.
It was a Power Master.
Power Master, he lost it?
I lost it. I don't know what happened.
Power Master Prime was the second release of Prime, basically. And then Headmasters came after all of that.
I like the Power Master.
Wasn't that the one that had that black box on that?
It was a black, it was a black box that you plugged into him. And
it also transformed, but you had to put it in there for him to transform. And if you lost that,
it was like a key, basically.
Yeah, you had to stick your finger in there and press the goddamn thing so his legs would pop down.
Damn.
Because his legs wouldn't pop down unless you had it.
Yeah, that's messed up.
All right, now let's talk about some of these He-Man figures and the custom. So I'm gonna let you.
They all custom.
They're all custom. Okay, I'm gonna let you talk about it.
All
have at it.
All
right. Have at it.
Holy shit, these things sweet looking too.
Well, some of them. Well, this one. All right, let's start off with the most basic one.
John Henry Irons.
John Henry Irons, a custom. This is actually a collect. What is it? Collect and connect. DC multi-universe.
Yeah, the build figure.
What is it? Superman, Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Okay,
Head right on up out of there. You know, and I use the extra head that comes with Blade.
That's why he looks so familiar.
That's why he got the glasses.
Man,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're saying you gotta saying that them zigzags that was on his head down, and then some decent chrome paint.
Oh, okay, that's sweet.
This is the only Superman I like. Like when we were talking about the death of Superman and stuff like that, I probably was like the only person rooting for that ass whooping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate Superman, bro. Like,
There you go.
with a passion.
No.
I know it's probably somebody in the comments
This side of the table is on the same page.
I can't say I hate or love Superman. I just think they write him incorrect. Like if they wrote him like they wrote Goku.
Superman was always my favorite back
because
in the day.
Goku is the Japanese Superman. I'm sorry, even though he get his ass kicked every once in a while, he always come back.
Superman is just one of those characters where like it just really depends on who's writing him at the time.
Oh yeah. Because like, dude, some of his stories are incredible.
Whoever wrote Doomsday, that's who need to keep writing.
Hey man, did you ever read the one for the man who has everything? Alan Moore wrote that one. It was like basically the one where it was one of the first appearances of Mongo. Like he put Superman under the Black Destiny and made him like sleep
it's not
forever.
The Black Destiny, it's the Black Mercy.
Black Mercy, excuse me. And it basically put him to sleep and made him think that he never left Krypton and he actually grew up and he had family and everything like that. And then once he woke up and found out, dude, he was so pissed off.
Oh no, they did.
Like,
they did an episode
They kind of did that into
the Justice League. It was the Justice League episode.
the cartoon.
Yeah, but dude, the comic was so much better. It was incredible. It was one of the best Superman stories I've ever read. Anyway, this He-Man figure was from to me. That Masters of the Universe series was so good.
2000X?
Yes.
Yeah.
That
The one that came on
so
Cartoon Network?
Yes, the one that was on Cartoon Network.
I never finished it.
Yeah, that shit was so good.
I just had bought the box set of that not too long ago. But this one is not actually from that wave, because a lot of people, if you know this wave don't bend worth shit. Like that 2000X, they was like I think it was limited to maybe 6 points of articulation, neck, waist, shoulders, and hips. That was it. You know what I mean? Like, so what I call this is, because I was telling Darren earlier, is that I have my own style of customizing figures, and I have my own universes that I create.
Right.
This is not He-Man per se, but Young King Grayskull from that same series where they when they introduced King Grayskull and showed him everything to everybody while he was riding Battle Lion. I just got that in the mail too. That's a badass figure. Boy. But I decided, I was like, all right, I want to make a young version of it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I cracked open about 3 figs. I believe. Yeah, yes. This is the lower end of this lower half is a Spawn Viking. Figure.
Right. So wait, you made all of these, right?
Yeah, this is all 100% like from all different figures. The upper parts, this stuff is from that same figure. That's a 2000X. The harness is a 2000X harness from He-Man. That's the 2000X head and accessories. That body is Mutant Leader from the DC Multiverse. I used that twice. It's going to be on another figure, too. I used it to make that Lord Skeletor.
Do you sell these customs?
These customs? No, I make my customs for myself.
You know what this reminds me of? You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of what happened to some of my G.I. Joes. Because remember, back in the day, you got yourself a screwdriver. You found a way to get that little band off of it just right.
Get that O-ring out of there, baby.
It's like, oh, yeah, we're about to... Y'all about to get mixed up with a whole bunch of other people.
I used to mix up figs like that,
So who else
man.
you got over there? Skeletor.
Nah, this one is Skeletor.
That shit is dope.
I call this one Lord Skeletor. This is also a mashup of of 3 figures. Again, I think 2 or 3, maybe 4. Some McFarlane, some Master of the Universe, 2000X, some DC Multiverse, Mutant Leader body. Whole body. That is a McFarlane. I believe that's a McFarlane skull head. It came from somewhere. That I want to say that's Taskmaster's hood from the Giant Man wave when they had him out there looking like Skeletor with some new 2000 armor and everything. Skeletor's original 2000X accessories, his a harness and everything, and this comes off of
Mr. Rick and Mortis is like, he looks like a Belmont.
that old He-Man.
This one came off of Zeus from the McFarlane line of wild figures.
Speaking of
That's-
these figures, though.
huh?
No,
You
he's,
have to
he
paint
has,
it?
he's
Oh
got
yeah,
to paint
that's
it.
that's fully. This is painted. This one right here is
Okay.
painted.
Okay.
That came the same body color as
Is the
this.
He-Man?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
He-Man. He was the same flesh color as the He-Man.
That's a really good
Okay.
paint job.
So
That is a
yeah.
really good paint job.
Yeah,
That's
that
really
one-
detailed. But speaking of that, like these figures, ain't no way they anatomically correct because they shouldn't even really be able to move them arms. As fat and big as they are.
Shouldn't be able to wipe nothing in behind.
Right.
Wipe your ass with an arm that big.
No, what's the other big fella there?
Now this is something that I call him King Tusk.
Okay, that's fair.
Shit.
That
like
looks
that.
so dope. I love
Yeah.
the freaking
All right.
sword tusk like
All right,
that.
now hold on.
Yeah.
Let me guess. Now, is there any Marvel Rhino in there?
That is all. That whole
The base
whole body base is
Rhino?
Marvel Rhino.
Okay,
Rhino.
okay,
That's the
okay.
select Rhino body.
Yeah, because that's what I was about to say. It's like, cause I have some Marvel Select stuff, but it's like I never bought like Rhino and some of the other bigger ones. But
Yeah, that's the only reason
yeah.
I buy selects for is for the bigger dudes because they actually scale into the Marvel stuff.
Damn, that's
Right.
really sweet though. Where's the
is-
head from?
That head is from Mythic, the beginning of some of the Mythic Legends. These things, this company, they make these figures, man. It's so many toys, man, and everything. Because I don't collect them because they cost too damn much. They only make a couple hundred of them, and they do not disperse a lot of them at all. You know what I'm saying? So they make like what 50 go to like each state or each region or
Oh,
something
wow.
like that. So they
Wow.
be hard as hell to get. But this was like from the early series of it, and if people notice this, they know that this figure broke a lot. So when I bought it from off my boy, and just parts, just all parts, like you know, and I was like, I need that head. I can use a couple other parts off of it. And this is felt. I made that from like some dollar store.
That's really
felt.
imaginative, man.
That's
Like,
nice.
like for real,
That's
man. Like
super
Mattel
awesome.
or one of them toy companies, they need to come and get you, man.
Get some
Like he should be on like the toys that made us or some shit, making his own like little figures and stuff like that. For
And
them.
I don't pat
That
myself
shit would
on the
be
back.
dope.
There's so many people that kill a game with this stuff, man. I know so many people. Like, I don't know if you guys seen, like, and I've definitely seen it because this shit went viral. I know you guys seen
Oh, that He-Man?
That Sam Jackson
Yes,
He-Man?
yes, I saw that.
That's
Yeah,
my
you posted
homeboy.
that.
I posted
Yeah,
that.
I shared it and went, whoa.
That's my homeboy's
Yeah.
figure. He
That shit's
cast
dope,
that
man.
head. You know what I'm saying? And he put that on there. That's my homeboy Kevin Milton. Shout out to Meltdown Customs. He cast his heads and stuff like that. And he casted that head for and the John Travolta head.
Oh, I didn't
for-
see the John Travolta
Yes,
one.
yeah, he got the John Travolta. He got both of them. He shrunk them down from Hot Toys.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he shrunk them down and he made them for 6-inch figures and everything.
Nice.
He slapped that thing on that clamp champ body, man, and put a sword in it. I'm like, bruh, you just made a Samuel L. Jackson He-Man figure, and he went nuts.
It
You know what I'm saying?
went
Like, but
crazy.
like I said, I don't pat myself on the back. I still feel like I'm still learning when it comes down to making customs and stuff. I do not like to paint. I hate painting whole bodies. That
You damn good though.
that damn Skeletor drove me nuts to paint. Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like painting whole bodies and stuff like that. I'll do heads. I'll do, little intricate stuff and everything. I'll even make things. You know what I'm saying? Like, this stuff was all, like, I had to make all this stuff on here. This is, like, pieces
That's
of stuff
really
that I
sweet,
bought
though.
from the dollar store, clipped
Yeah.
it up and everything. Look, the string, tied it myself, cut it and clipped it.
But that's really imaginative,
You know.
man. That's like some really good shit.
I be
Like,
bored, man.
hey,
And high.
hey, whatever works.
However you get it done.
Right,
man.
whatever
You get it
works.
done.
That shit goes together pretty good sometimes,
Yeah,
All
but
right, we're gonna turn it over to the chat. Though.
Indeed.
Howard's gonna be y'all's in a minute, so we're gonna bring the chat up on screen. We're gonna talk about the rest of the stuff all y'all want in the chat because I think toys is gonna be probably the rest of the topic for the rest of the show. 'Cause
Yeah.
y'all got a lot of questions in here. So
indeed, power is yours.
The power is yours!
all right, let's get that chat screen big. Let's see what we got here.
Mr. Reiner Mortis, do you airbrush the big surfaces?
No, I don't airbrush anything, man. I hand paint.
Okay.
And I told you, like, when we started out, they asked me how everything's going, talking about, and I said, arthritis. I have arthritis throughout my entire body, and I hand paint, like, all this stuff. Like, my hands, everything is full of that. I am carpal tunnel, all that, but, I still sit down, I roll a couple dubers and do what I got to do, then if I want to get a custom done.
That's
But,
cool. Well, Ace Arcadia says really nice custom figures. I agree 100%, man. 100%. Those are nice. Mr. Rigor Mortis, never heard of custom figures, man. You gotta hit Google a little bit more, brother. There's a lot of people doing customized, not just custom figures like what he's got here. There's a lot of people that do the seamless body fashion. I think they're called fashion figures, where like it literally looks like you're like a human, and it's like you're taking a human basically and making whatever figures and whatever designs you want. I saw somebody that made some fashion Wonder Woman, Power Girl, like a lot of just different ones, and this is those things are amazing, and it's a huge market out there for people doing customs. And thankfully, with it being such a global market that we live in, it's easier to get stuff now. Because back in the day, like you said, you had to hit the garage sales. It's like now with eBay and online markets, it's so much easier to get stuff. You're gonna pay for it now. Granted, you have to pay for it, but it's easier to get stuff than it was when it was just like, well, I hope I can find something.
He said the biggest one. I actually got it up for sale too. The biggest one I've done.
Biggest custom figure you can make. Okay.
Did you sold, because I saw I think it was a Castle Grayskull that you had did.
That's the biggest diorama I've ever done. That's actually the first damn diorama I've ever done, and that's the last damn diorama I'm ever going to do.
Did you keep it? Or did you sell it?
No, I put it up for sale. I kept it for a minute. I put it up for sale. It still ain't went nowhere yet. You know what I'm saying? But it's still like one of those things that I'm happy I tried it. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing I always tell my kids: don't never say you can't do anything. Period. You know what I'm saying? I tell my kids that all the time. I tell my son Jason, I tell Deshaun that I like, look, you cannot say that you can't do something. I'm like, because if I can do it and never have done it before, you can do it. I pulled that off the first time. That was the first dio I've ever made. That's like I said, the last one I'm going to sit up and do and everything, because it took so long to cut, to sand, to paint this little intricate cut holes and stuff like that, because it's a castle.
Yeah, it looked good though. Looked real good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
John P said, does anyone collect statues? The market went crazy after MCU
That'd be you,
movies.
GQ.
I do too. Here's the thing. I'm going to ease into that because, okay, put it in perspective. The average 6-scale figure from Sideshow is 220 and up. And that's all I'm just going to say, and up. It always goes up. It very rarely goes down. But quarter scale, the average price on a quarter scale statue is usually 350 and up. I am very selective about the quarter scale statues that I'm going to purchase. I have one. Well, Loki is premium format, so he's technically in that weird gray area. He's not quite quarter scale, but he's not quite 1/3 scale. He's somewhere in between. So I got him for an amazing price in California when I was out there. So that's one statue. That's kind of my starting point. I already had Laura from Street Fighter V pre-ordered the moment that she went on pre-order, but she's a quarter scale, so she's going to be about 17 inches tall. I have Chun-Li from that same line also pre-ordered, but that's probably where I'm going to stop, because if I start getting into the quarter scale statue line, now I'm going to have to buy a whole nother wall of shelves and cabinets and various stuff, and then it will start turning into the hoarding thing, because it's like, okay, what is your throughput? What is your theme for your rec room now? Because now it seems like you're just grabbing whatever looks cool. It's like, no, I stick with particular stuff, particular companies.
So there definitely is a method to the madness, right?
Oh, there has to be, because I think that's, again, if there's no, and it's not so much saying that you can't collect stuff from different stuff. It's just a matter of if you just start grabbing everything you see and there's no particular rhyme or reason to it, I think that's when you can easily fall into hoarding. I think if you just for example, with Dido, he collects video games, but he usually is buying stuff that he plays or or particularly likes. Or wants to play. He doesn't go out and grab every single Wii game out there because there's a lot of shovelware. And again, every company has a shovelware, but the Wii was kind of known for it. So I think that's where. Wait, what's up?
Like my wallet ain't on the same page.
Hey, I can understand that too, man. Now, here's the thing about Sideshow. Now, this is the one thing about Sideshow that you got to really be careful of. Sideshow makes it, and they do it so smoothly. They make it very easy to part with your money with them, because they let you put that little deposit down. And it's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, it's like, you know what? Put that deposit down. Now, here's the thing. The deposit is non-refundable. It's not non-transferable, but it's non-refundable. So the moment you say, okay, yeah, I'm going to put a deposit on that, that money is gone.
Yeah, it's done.
So now here's the thing: you can transfer it to something else, but not back to your bank account. You can just transfer it to something else on Sideshow's
Just
website.
to another item. Just like
Right. So, Mike King, you 100% right. PlayStation Gear is not hoarding.
It is hoarding.
No. As long as you can use all the different stuff, it's not hoarding. But no, it's
I got 5 kids to feed. This dude,
hey,
King to King.
Hey, but no, it's like the reason I look at Sideshow makes it so easy because again, you put the deposit down and then you forget about it because they're just going to take out whatever amount you know, depending on how many months or whatever you're going to stretch it. Here's where it gets dangerous. Sideshow is very easy to buy one and then look and find because they real good about this. Their website has a whole bunch of if you liked such and such, you might also like whatever. And you guys know their pictures are top notch. So it's like it's a really good racket that they got going there, and
picture be a scene in the background,
right?
Stuff around
Right. They set it up. They set it up exactly the way it needs to be.
It's a trap.
It definitely a huge trap. Because here's the crazy thing: Wonder Woman 84 didn't even come out this year, not yet. But the Wonder Woman 84 Deluxe that they have with the like 26-inch wingspan looks amazing. And it's gold armor. You know, like you said, we was talking about Silverhawks before, shiny gold. Hopefully will not be, crazy flaky. But I mean, at that price point,
it better not be. Almost dipped.
Right. Right. So it's literally one of those, okay, I got that on pre-order. Here's the last thing I'm going to pre-order from them for this year, at least in my mind, potentially. They brought Loki back from the first Avengers movie.
The crown.
Yeah, with the crown, though, and they've changed his face sculpt, made it better. So basically, and you know them, they don't usually do a lot of re-releases. They will release, and then that's it. And usually, but Loki, for whatever crazy reason, they decided to bring back, which is cool because I guess they improved his face sculpt and a bunch of other stuff. Because that Loki, the original Avengers Loki, still goes for about $600, easy. So I think that's what you run into. Let's see.
Oh my goodness.
He says. He says he uses all the stuff all the time. I don't know, man.
I mean, look,
all the time.
I mean, because like, okay, for example, I have 2 PlayStation VR units, but the only reason I got the second one because I got a great deal on it. It came with 5 games, and it's the upgraded one.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the main reason, and plus the PS5. I'm sorry, the PS5 is supposed to be backwards compatible with the VR potentially. So I'm already set. What you got, Fallen? I'm sorry.
No, I was just I know like since we were like covering like custom figures and stuff with that, I just so happened to look up the entire line, and I didn't know this was a line. Apparently, it's a guy in the UK. Now, I'm pretty sure some of us have come across that Eazy-E He-Man figure.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
I think I've seen that a while ago.
You might have seen it as like a meme, but apparently it's a guy in the UK whose line is called Trap Toys. And he basically has hip hop themed custom figures, but it's meshed with a lot of different like just 80 shit. And it's just like he has like a whole line of it. It's like they're technically, I guess, like he technically dubbed bootleg toys, but it's actually rather hilarious.
Now, which He-Man toys is he basing it off of? The newer ones?
No, those are on the old bodies.
I don't know. You see,
it's on the old bodies.
I think those are on.
Wow. Okay.
So like,
cool.
It's kind of funny because like I've just got Easy He straight out of Eternia. You got a
You talking about a Mato Joe?
What is this? MF Duff. It's supposed to be like MF Doom, but it's like from like MF Duff, like Duff.
He's saying, what was the guy's name?
I had a friend of mine on Facebook. His name is I want to say I hate to mess his name up, but his name is Mato or something like that. He does all He-Man Master Universe base figures and everything, and dude done like Godzilla, King Kong, Donkey Kong. I mean, not King Kong, but Donkey Kong as a He-Man figure. You know what I'm saying? And he does one with the backing cards and everything, and the blisters and all that. Like he has some sick ones. He did G.I. Joe. He had a Cobra Commander one, a Destro one. And it gets real live with him because the custom backing card is everything.
Yeah.
About it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like that card, that blister
Right.
kills it.
And I think that's one of the things that makes the big difference is the presentation. Because it's
Presentation's all the
like
time.
the
Sales.
fact that you
Yeah.
can go back and again, the tools are there. The technology gap is narrowed. You got Photoshop. You got high-end quality printers. Like all the stuff that, you didn't have access to normally is regular stuff now. And I think that's, and looking back at it though, the 80s He-Man bodies, and that's what always kind of bothered me about that line.
They were all the same.
All He-Man and Skeletor is just as buff as each other, man.
Yeah.
It's like, come
Well,
on, dude.
everybody,
Right.
Everybody was the same body for the, and again,
Yeah, because
I
that was well, if you watch the toys that made it, they told you because they had like
I
a
haven't watched
limited
that one.
amount of money
mold.
to work
Yeah.
with.
I
you
don't
know
know.
what
I
I'm
completely
saying?
understand that. And
And-
again, but I'm saying, I know. Again, I completely get it as an adult. I'm talking about as a kid.
Yeah.
As a kid,
you just sitting there like,
everybody's buff.
everybody's
as hell.
just buff. So like, how is He-Man beating Skeletor? Like, why-
Buzzsaw. Is it Buzzsaw or Buzzor? I think it
No,
was
Buzz
the
Off.
B. Buzz Off. That's his name.
Yeah, Buzz Off.
And was it with the claw?
Clawful.
Clawful. Dude,
Yeah.
I had so many of them, man. I'm sorry I don't remember all of them. That was back in
I
1983,
got you.
84.
And again, I think, but
I had so
for,
many of
for
them.
me, it's because I keep watching stuff that talks about that old stuff. So I was
Yeah.
like,
I need to watch that episode. Of Toys
Oh
R
yeah,
Us.
you have
That's
to.
a very
That's
good-
really enlightening. Like
a
a
very
lot of
good
a lot of the
episode.
stuff they talk about is just like, wow. So that's why XYZ.
Yeah, because you never knew that. Like a lot of people, we was sitting up there arguing with the guy at work, and he's talking about he's a Conan fan. You know, oh man, they ripped off Conan. Like, no, they didn't. Mattel actually had the rights to the Conan figures, and they found out that the movie was just like a bunch of gore and you know what I'm saying and everything. And it's like, yo, we ain't never did this before. We can't
Right.
do that, you know. So that they just didn't, you know what I'm saying. They went ahead and spun He-Man off to be the, you know what I'm saying, like the shining
the
light,
kids version.
the kids
Yeah.
version
Yeah.
of Conan. You know what I'm saying? Like it just dumbed it down like all hell. That's all it really was.
But later on in the 80s and the 90s, man, they didn't even care. RoboCop, Alien, Rambo,
Yeah.
Terminator, all got toys, and like they're all rated R
Now,
movies.
here's the
All
funny
right,
thing.
movies.
Here's the funny thing, and matter of fact, you helped me out with that one that I couldn't figure out what that one ninja toy that I had was. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah. When I was going through and like pulling out all the old stuff and bagging stuff, it's like I still got some of those Rambo figures. I still got
the Coleco Rambo figures.
yeah, I still got a couple of those. It's just some of the stuff you end up like and again, it's not even so much because it's like some people are like, oh, you just got a whole bunch of stuff. It's like, yeah, but I'm also going through categorizing, organizing, making sure that I know what I have instead of, well, I think I might have X, Y, Z, or it's like, no, I'd rather just have a list of, okay, here's what I got, cool, versus
Right.
like you said, tripping over and not figuring out, like, okay, well, dang, I just got piles of stuff. So.
Yeah, I actually had to work through that myself to the point where, like, okay, I need to stop like tiptoeing over my living room right now. So,
Yeah.
like, because that's because I think like it's been probably about like 3 months since the last time like I've consistently bought comic books. So like I've slowed down because like I have to actually.
How you
read
gonna
some
collect
of
them when they ain't
actually
releasing them, man?
Right, exactly. Like that's
you gonna collect
now,
them when they
hold
ain't
on,
releasing them, man?
That's,
No,
that's like
DC, like to that credit, DC started like putting theirs out a little bit earlier than some of the others. So,
but falling. You cannot take no credit for the last 3 months. I ain't bought no comics lately.
Right.
When we've been under a pandemic and
Right.
no comics have been
Right.
released,
No,
no stores.
you're
First of all, you didn't even let me
Diamond is
finish.
not
I said that
dropping
like I had to
nothing,
slow
right?
down anyway, is what I'm saying.
That-
Okay, so it's like, look,
You
the
see.
pandemic helped me have to slow down because I had to slow down anyway because like I hadn't even like
All
I
they
wasn't
dropped
even
this
getting
week
through
was
the ones
Image Comics.
I'd already bought yet. So it's just
I'm messing with you.
it's yeah, I know. It's just like one of those like weird things to where it's like, okay, I need to kind of get some of this clutter under control because like this was not in the plan. Definitely was not in the plan. So like that's why I think like a lot of people that winds up like getting to like that hoarder stage, like it's just kind of like you kind of have to wonder like did they intend to get there, and most often they don't. So
All right, in the chat, they talking about bringing back some old stuff. Animaniacs coming back. Some people want Freakazoid. Freakazoid was awesome. Mr. Rigor Mortis is saying, I don't really see how Beavis and Butthead would work in this soft
Which
day.
was just done, which was just announced today. That Beavis and Butthead are coming
Yeah.
So
back.
was that Mike
saw
Judge
that.
coming back?
Yeah, I guess so.
Here's the thing, though.
This-
How they gonna do Beavis
How are
and
they
Butthead
gonna do
with
it?
no music videos?
Yeah, there's no music videos done like that, man. Like
Yeah.
the only thing
do
they
big music videos, they just go straight. To
It would have to be a YouTube show or something.
got to be.
Like, that's why
maybe it's gonna
that's
be
why all the
maybe it's
music
gonna be like
videos come
those
on
meme
now.
shows.
it could be a meme show. I mean, like I still want to see Beavis and Butthead react to Nicki Minaj Anaconda.
Yeah.
Shake it.
Yeah.
Goodness. Speaking of old stuff, like something else that actually dropped that apparently that the director of John Wick is attempting to reboot Highlander.
Wow.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that done.
That's a movie
Yeah.
I think needs a reboot because they screwed up that whole entire universe with the second friggin' movie.
They killed it and
to say the
they
least.
shot it in the foot with the third and then shot it in the head with the fourth.
Yeah. Wow.
They could do some stuff.
yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
All right, cameras up. We got it's been almost 2 hours.
I know. We
since
gave y'all bonus time tonight.
We sure did. We went into way overtime.
Way
we had a great guest.
We
in
did
the
have a great
studio,
guest,
though,
man. It's been awesome to spitting stuff with you, man.
I appreciate it,
awesome.
y'all.
Yeah, appreciate you bringing in all your really awesome custom figures. So giving you the floor a little bit. Where could people find more about you and your store where you work?
Okay. Well, I'm pretty much this is all eBay. I'm eBay user Mabu 5542. MABU
Okay.
dash 5542.
I'm glad he said MABU because I was like, I thought he was like MYBOO.
Mabu.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that one that the handle they gave me.
Like Majin Buu?
Like Mabu. Yeah, Majin Buu. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just break down the main bird. You know.
Yeah,
so
I
which
got
wise,
you.
but,
Okay.
I am also the dude that does the displays at Time Travelers. A lot of people don't know that I work at Time
For
Travelers.
real?
Yeah, so I am
Okay.
the new display man over at Time Travelers. I'm
Okay,
Berkeley.
so yeah, they need you because man, that
I've
shit was
been,
looking nasty.
if
for
you
a
go
while.
in there now, you will definitely notice. I've been there since October,
Okay.
so you definitely notice a big difference in the store. Like a big difference in the floor, the way it's set up out there. Which cause I'm trying to keep stuff in order, and because Mike like to put stuff everywhere. I love Mike to death. I don't know him ever since I was a little kid. And
Yeah.
he just puts it out there. He puts the price tag on it and puts it
Yep,
out there. He
pretty
don't
much
care
just throws it
where
out
the
there.
hell he
Yep.
puts it at. He just puts it there.
Yep.
So
Yep,
I was trying to
that's
get him
true.
sophisticated,
No,
but-
wait. Now, are you guys open again now, or
Oh, yeah.
you are open? Okay.
We are open. We can just make sure you wear a mask. You come in, just wear a mask. We are open to the public. We're not just doing the coming to the door and all that. No, we are open for you to come in and out of the store and stuff. I'm not one of them dudes that's gonna hog the witch because I work there. I love that store. You know what I'm saying? I got a job that I don't regret going to. That type of thing. I don't wake up like, I gotta go to work. I'll be like, yeah, I gotta go to work. The only thing I might say, look, it's like, what the hell did he buy over the weekend? You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's going to be like my workload right there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Depending on what Mike bought over the weekend, Monday afternoon is gonna be hell for me. You know what I'm saying? With sorting wise. So sometimes I come in, he ain't bought number books. I'll be like, hi, Gabe, it's all your problem. It's all you, buddy. Then sometimes I come in and he got like 3 boxes of action figures and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to need you to price all these and put them out for me. I'm like, if he catch me doing that voice, he's going to probably
Oh man, that's awesome. But no, man, thank you for being with us, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. I think everybody else in the chat really appreciated you being here.
I appreciate everybody in the chat too. I was one person in there. I did not answer his question. I did say he asked, did I customize vehicles? Bruh, I got a gigantic 12-inch scale G.I. Joe van or tank or whatever the hell it is, APV van, whatever. Big old truck. I took it apart. I base colored it. I base colored it wrong because I didn't sand it, and it's sitting down in the storage in the apartment. So to wrap up his question, no, I really don't do vehicles.
All right, man, that's cool. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching episode 219 of Culture Junkies Live. Next week, Wednesday, we're going to be talking about somewhat a very controversial topic for some people. It's blackface in TV and movies. There was a big to do about Robert Downey Jr.'s turning blackface and how that seemingly got a pass where others kind of did not. So we're going to talk about that a little bit next week. Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. If you are a fan of Culture Junkies and you really like what we're doing, please make sure you check us out on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube. But also, if you really want to support us, please head over to patreon.com/culturejunkies and check out one of the 3 tiers that we have available for you to join. In fact, new subscriber or new patron, Ace Arcadia, we want to thank you for joining the ranks of the Culture Junkie Nation. We appreciate you going along with Fab Nerd Life and Courtney Jenkins, who are our other 2 patrons. So it's kind of small, but Culture Junkie Nation is growing every day. So for my good friends GQ, Fallen Marvel, and the Great Akuji, I'm Kishiro. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great one.
Take care. See you next week.
Good night.
Later, Gator.